Let's go now.
Shattering a part of me, and I can take it. My heart is so hollow, the blood has an echo inside of my veins. My heart is so hollow, your voice is an arrow, making the pain. My heart is so hollow, hollow, hollow. My heart is so hollow, hollow, hollow.
What is up, guys? What is happening? I know you can't see me yet, but, and boom. Oh, the light's not on. Of course you can't see me. Boom. What is up, guys? Day 5 of the Aaron Rodgers watch continues on the Talking Jets with Tico channel. We're back. We're going to chat. We're going to have some fun. Say hi to some people while we're here. Something's going on. Oh, crap. I got to reset some things. See, this is why I have the intro. This is why I have that thing, so that I can set things up. so that I can have time to set things up. Thank you for test. Explosive diarrhea. I think as days pass, it's less likely he's coming here. Can't agree with that per se. I think he's gonna be coming here because it's the only options he really has. And I think I think worst case scenarios, we have the news tomorrow, and we probably have a deadline on him saying like, yeah, you have to tell us tomorrow. There's no way that we let that happen. Or like, there's no way, like, yeah, there's just no way we're going to just let him kind of do what he wants and waste time and all of that stuff. But welcome, Explosive Diarrhea. Daniel Faust. It's done, didn't you know? I hope so. I really do. Explosive Diarrhea back in here. Hank G, here we go again. Absolutely, Hank. We're back live. Starting to get a bad vibe about this Rodgers thing. I don't know, man. Until, like I said, until it doesn't happen, I'm going to be hopeful that it's happening. You know? John Alty, Tigo, you need new intro music, bud, lol. Here's the problem. Is, like, if I could play my music that I like, that would be great. But then YouTube would come in with the ban hammer, and they would just absolutely annihilate me. And so until I can start making some type of money on YouTube so that I can buy the royalties to like 2 or 3 songs for my intro music, we're going to have to deal with whatever non-copyright music I can find on the internet. Because, like I said, it's like 2-3 minutes while I have the stream setting up, letting people come in, and that's it. And that's all you got to hear it for. I'm not going to be using that in the background for very many things at all. But I don't disagree with you. It's not the best music. What's up? This is taking too long. Not you, Tigo, the Rodgers guy. No, I get it. But, like, he's a busy man. I don't know why I keep making everything. The silence with Rodgers is speaking volumes. I don't think so, Nalty, because I think he also did the same thing last year when he wasn't getting a contract, and he waited up until, like, right up until the deadline of, like the start of free agency and to announce it and to get everything in place. And so I think the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets have both put a deadline on Rodgers, saying if we don't know by tomorrow, by, let's say, like 12 o'clock Eastern time, then he's got to go back to the Packers, or he's got to retire, or he's got to, like, there's got to be some kind of deadline on him, because you can't just let him do everything, like, for free. Does that make sense? Am I making any kind of sense? So, yeah. Harlan in the house. Love Harlan. Harlan is one of my loyal viewers. Love this man as well as the rest of you guys. But Harlan is the only one that has purchased Talkin' Jets with Tigo merch. He's got my mugs. He sent them to me. He got my mugs before I got my mugs. And that's awesome. I appreciate him. Naughty, Hank G, everybody in the house. Let me see, make sure I don't miss anybody. Vervain, we will almost certainly hear something tomorrow or early Monday. Absolutely, I think so too. Well, let's see. I think Rodgers will come to the Jets. I hope so. I'm getting a feeling that Rodgers is enjoying every last minute before he has to face the New York experience. That too. I didn't know about the music, Tigo. No worries. Hey, like I said, man, it's not that, like, you're allowed to say your bit. It doesn't hurt my feelings. None of it. But I like to keep you guys informed. Keep you up to date with what's happening. He agreed to go back to the Packers last year on March 8th. Yes, because the Packers finally gave in to the incessant kind of like, okay, we need to pay this man to come back. Again, he might have been waiting. This is a different situation. Like, there's part of me that goes like, you know what? I understand why he's taking so long. In his 18-year career, he's only been a Green Bay Packer, so there's that side of it. And then you look at it and you go, on top of that, going to New York, it's a different media market. It's a very, very, like, it's not an easy place to play. There is a lot of expectations here when it comes to stuff like this. Like, it's a big decision. Now, I would understand if he was taking this long if there were multiple teams in on it, but there isn't. It's just the Jets. Like, if the Jets were in on it and he had meetings with, like, the Panthers and, like, the Falcons, or I'd get it, because then you're weighing your options. Do you want to stay in the NFC and stick it to the... No. It's just the Jets or the Packers. And the Packers have already said, screw you, we want you out of here. So come to New York. We'll embrace you. We'll love you. I'll buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey the day you announce your number. Like, the day. Finger Lake Jets fan, welcome to the stream. I feel like this is too deep and far to fall apart. Jets need a clear cap, and Rodgers wanted to milk this thing. Yeah, maybe. Dark Soldier, what's up? Welcome. Oh, dang. Red John, I think he gave a wink to Hackett. The Jets, no. I think so too. I think that there's a part of what's happening is a little, like, tongue-in-cheek kind of like, hey, like, here's what, like, that meeting that they had, the Green Bay Packers weren't there, right? So there is a consensus of Jets fans that absolutely think that in that meeting, Aaron and Woody and all of those guys came to an understanding that he would be a Jet. And that ultimately the best thing for everybody would be to let the Packers stew. Like, there is a contingency of Jets fans and Jets Twitter that believes that. And part of me gets that, right? Like, the more this goes on, the more leverage Aaron has. And if Aaron, in the end, says, I want to go to the Jets, and the Jets come in and say, the best we can do is a third-round pick and a conditional pick the next year, like, Green Bay can't say no. They can't have him on the books on March 15th. They need to get him off the books. And so... This makes a lot of sense, Red John. A lot of sense. By the way, I love that show. I'm sad I'm sad you picked the villain of the show, but I love The Mentalist. Great show. If Rodgers doesn't want to play for the Jets, then the Jets could pivot and get Case Keenum. Not a fan. Case Keenum's body is broken. Italy Jet. Tigo, it's okay to go to bed, get some sleep. Lol, hope you and your family are well. Man, I slept all day today. Nothing. Slept all day today. We won't hear anything tomorrow, so don't count on it. I think so. We'll see. Who knows? Italy Jet, good to see you. Absolutely. I watched a video last night of Rodgers and his guru discussing his darkroom experience. He actually did the full 4 days. I know. The podcast that he did, it's insane. He literally did 4 days in the darkness retreat. It's insane. You're one of my guys too, Italy Jet. I love Italy Jet. Italy Jet is great. There's a great show with DKB and Gunny. I think those are on Mondays now. Believe they used to be on Wednesdays, and now they're on Mondays. I think Italy Jet, confirm if you're still in here. I think, right? Yeah. Alrighty. Vervain, so would Rodgers become more hated than Brady if he retires after letting this play out for so long? No. Here's the thing, Vervain. What happens if he says, I want to be a New York Jet? Right? And the New York Jets come to the Green Bay Packers and say, the best we can do is a third-round pick and a conditional fourth the following year. And the conditions go that if he's on the roster, it turns into a third. If he plays 70% of the snaps and gives us a playoff berth, it turns into a second. And if he plays 80% of the snaps and takes us to the Super Bowl, it's a first. And Green Bay says, absolutely not. I want a first-round pick this year. I don't care about the conditions next year. I want 13. And the Jets, rightfully so, go, absolutely not. We're not going to pay a first-round pick for a one-year rental because we don't know what he's going to do in 2024. And then that conversation starts to happen, and it goes back and forth. Well, Aaron Rodgers learned all of his negotiating tactics from his mentor at quarterback, Brett Favre. And Brett Favre, what did he do to force the Green Bay Packers' hands? He retired. Because a lot of people don't know this. If you retire, it's the same cap hit as if you cut the player. So, if Aaron waits and says, you know what, I want to be, and he doesn't, and they don't do it, well, he can just retire and screw their entire offseason plan. He cannot They cannot let him retire. They need him to want to come back and play, and they need him to want to play for a different team. So if he wants to go to the Jets, he can go. It's the nuclear option. I made a video about this. He can absolutely go nuclear and say, screw it. I'm going to screw with everybody. I'm going to do everything. You know what? In honor of the nuclear option, if Aaron Rodgers decides to go nuclear, he can blow up their cap space. He's a $99 million dead cap hit if he decides to stay or if he decides to retire. So I think retirement might still be an option, but that might be an option to force Green Bay's hand to trade him away to the team that he wants to for a lesser number. And so, yeah. Mondays now used to be Thursdays. There it is. The video changed my mind of Rodgers. I kind of misread the guy. Italy Jet does a show with Jude Jet Wednesdays or Thursdays. Yes, he does. I love Jude Jet, man. I got to have him on. I got to reach out to him. He's so smart. Hank G, give Tigo a like. Thank you, Hank. Listen to the man. 17 likes. Come on, guys. Do it. Do it to it. Let's keep going. Green Bay needs Rodgers cap space badly. It's not that they need the cap space from Rodgers, right? Because I think if they cut him, they only get $5 million in cap space. It's more they can't take on the dead cap hit of cutting him. That's more the problem. I hit the button when I came into the chat room. The others have to do their job. Thank you. Salty, what did it change exactly? Are you pro A-Rod now? Oh, that's a good question. Rodgers seems like the guys to retire to F the Packers and F us. No, I don't think so, man. He's going to make $100 million over the next 2 years. It's a problem. Like, he's only made $300 million in his career. And he's about to make $100 million over the next 2. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense for him to, like, just play it out. What's the worst that happens? Like, you can't hit the quarterback anymore. So you're not gonna have, like, a massive injury or anything that, like, ruin. Like, I'm just saying, like, it makes sense. And this is another great point that I totally forgot. He isn't gonna retire the same year as Brady. He doesn't want to be a guest appearance on the Brady retirement. Tigo, you gonna have people call in? Yes, we're gonna test that out. I've got the feature. I've got there's the phone number that we might be doing later. That tactical nuke sound. That's the winding down, letting you know that you're about to get kicked off of the phone call. So we're working on some things. We're doing some things. We're trying to upgrade this. We're trying to turn this into something. We'll see what happens. Rodgers was at a flag football game with Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and some other QBs. Yep. I'm pretty sure he hosts it, right? I do 2 shows with Jude Jets. We got to link up eventually, Tigo. Yeah, dude. Whenever. Let me know. I'm a stay-at-home dad. For sure. I'm not going to deny it. I understand his toolage now. This is a great comment. Yes, Italy Jet, do a show with Jude Jet, Tigo, Gunnery Sergeant. I love Gunny, man. People can hit the QB unless you're playing the Jets. Absolutely. This is a great comment. Yes, if you're playing the Jets, you can hit the QB all you want. Because apparently, like, it's fine to hit our guys. That's okay. But you hit the Jets? Absolutely not. Not allowed. Oh, man. Sitting here and waiting. While we're waiting for Aaron Rodgers news, guys, hit the sub button. It's right down there. It's real easy. It's not that hard. Let's test this thing out. Let's see if this works. Alrighty, guys. The phone number is on the screen. We're going to take a couple calls. Make a call to that phone number. Let's see if this works. Let's see what happens. See if I can actually talk to you guys. Not a single roughing the passer all year. Yeah, we were the only team that didn't get one. It's so dumb. So dumb. So let's say we get Rodgers by Monday. Who else do we try to scoop up early in free agency? I would say a center would be a number one target. Expect a guy like a Ben Jones to the New York Jets. I think that makes a ton of sense. He's familiar with our offensive line coach and run game coordinator, Keith Carter. He's 33 and at a point in his career where he's probably ready to start chasing rings. He was a top 10 center in the NFL last year. Rodgers isn't going to want a rookie underneath him. So I would expect, like I said, in front of him, like at center. So I would expect a guy like Ben Jones to be really high on the New York Jets list if we get Rodgers. Then I would say probably Randall Cobb is going to be a Jet if Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. Like, that's for sure going to happen. And then I would expect one of the other wide receiver free agents. I have a feeling in my bones that that Corey Davis is going to be a part of the Aaron Rodgers trade, that it ultimately might end up being like a 5th round pick and Corey Davis, and then the conditional 4th, like something along those lines. And if that happens, I would expect a Adam Thielen or an Odell Beckham to be on the Jets target list. I expect a linebacker. I truly think that we're going to go big at linebacker. I don't know if Quincy's going to come back. I don't know if Quan's going to come back. I have a hard time seeing us paying the money that the Houston Texans are going to be able to offer them. But if you're telling me that we can maybe get in a Tremaine Edmonds at like a $9-10 million cap hit for the first year, and then maybe like 13 or 14 next year where we have a bunch of cap, you can sign me up for that every day of the week. And so I think we might be going big name at the linebacker position. And then for me, it's one of the San Francisco safeties is probably going to be a Jet. That's just the best way to look at it. Whether it's Jimmy Ward, which is a guy that a lot of people have honed in on. I wasn't the biggest Jimmy Ward guy, but I get that sentiment. I think Tashawn Gibson Sr. makes a lot of sense to become a New York Jet. He was a free safety in that system in San Francisco. He was the only good defensive back on that team last year. And he's 32, so that allows us to kick the can on the safety down a year, just by 1 year. So I think those are the types of guys that you're looking at. And then obviously interior defensive linemen. But I think we're going to try to bring our guys back. Sheldon Rankins, Nathan Shepard. I wouldn't be surprised if I heard a Fletcher Cox kind of pursuit or something like that, or even a Jamal Williams kind of pursuit at running back. I saw that report and that got me really happy. But those are the types of names that I would expect in free agency for us to go after. I wouldn't expect us to make a super big splash signing outside of the Tremaine Edmonds one. I think a lot of people are like, oh, we should go get a big name safety. Guys, I think we're going to run Jordan Whitehead and Chuck Clark. I think that's that. There's your safety tandem. And then you're going to add like maybe a veteran on the back end in that scenario. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to be super active in the safety market. There's that. Tom Petty, the waiting is the hardest. Cho Douglas, you're a beautiful bastard. Harlan, the Jets need a center to oppose players that come near the QB like Mangold did. 100%. And Ben Jones has got a nasty streak to him. Sean Island, how's it going to field when you're on Sunday Night Football next year? At least 5 or 6 times, right? That has to be how many times we're going to go. How about Lindsley? He played with Rodgers at Green Bay. Chargers will probably cut him. Well, until the Chargers cut him, he can't really be an option, right? And that's my biggest thing. If Corey Lindsley gets cut, he becomes the number 1 target instantly. But until he's cut, Ben Jones is my number 1 target. Specifically at the center position. Well, actually, he's just my number 1 target, period. Odell Beckham would be a terrible fit with the Jets. I don't think so. I think it makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense for the New York Jets. We've got a lot of young wide receivers that are going to play above him. He's going to be at a limited role. And no matter what you say, he is insanely athletic and knows how to dissect and read a defense. Now, this isn't me saying that I want Odell. I would prefer Adam Thielen. Even though Odell objectively is the better wide receiver, I'm an Adam Thielen fan. I love Adam Thielen. I love it. Beckham would love to play with Rodgers on a short deal to drive up his value again. Absolutely. Because he's not going to he wants a 2-year, 15 each. He wants a 2-year, $30 million deal, and he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it at all. So, 1 year, $5 million with $3 or $4 million worth of incentives makes a lot of sense for a guy like that who still has some upside to his game. Again, I'm not the biggest OBJ guy, and I'm not saying this is the hill that I'm going to die on. But to say that he wouldn't make our team better is an objective falsehood. He is a good wide receiver. He looked really good in that workout. But yeah. Rather spend big on Bates than Edmonds. I disagree. Safety isn't as important as linebacker. The New York Jets have such a hard time with stopping the run, Jason. Thank you for the comment, by the way. Haven't seen you in here before. Thank you for stopping by. The reason the New York Jets have such a hard time stopping the run is because we tell our defensive line to fly. Just go get the opposing quarterback every single play. And the linebackers need to fill that hole. And CJ Mosley is incredibly good at that, but he's the only one who was good at that. Quan and Quincy, who play that weak side linebacker, aren't good at filling the space and filling the holes to get to the passer or to get to the ball carrier. A guy like Tremaine Edmonds, who played exceptionally well next to Matt Milano, a very high-level linebacker, filled in those gaps. They run a very similar scheme to what we do. Filled in those holes incredibly well. And so I have more faith that that Chuck Clark playing more free safety full-time and Tony Adams playing free safety a little bit more full-time is good enough to get the job done, especially when we look at the fact that Sauce and DJ are still here. We still have the two best corners, the best cornerback duo in the NFL, especially with the Eagles breaking up their duo. They're not re-signing Bradbury, and they're letting Slay find a trade partner if he wants. With us having those two, I will always feel comfortable with having lesser talent in the safety room because of that. So I think linebacker is a much more important need. Hell no to OBJ. Where do you think Fant will end up? Chicago? No. Chicago's taking Paris Johnson Jr. at 9. Honestly, I would not be surprised if George Fant ended up in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's pick is just high enough to where they're not going to be in the offensive tackle running. And so you might take a flyer on a guy like George Fant if you're Cincinnati. It makes a ton of sense, actually. There has to be a reason OBJ doesn't last with all these teams he's been with. Well, here's the thing. LA wanted him back. The Rams wanted him back. He was hurt. That's it. And when he was healthy to come back, the Rams were ass. Pardon my French. So that's the biggest thing there. But you're not wrong. There is something there. Billy's in the house. They're both box safeties. That would be a bad move. Here's the thing, Jason. Chuck Clark played a ton of free safety. He played 50% of his snaps at free safety. And the other 50% at box safety. He was a 50-50 guy with the Ravens. Now, while objectively he is a better box safety, and I do agree with that, when he played free safety, he was more than adequate at it. He was more than good enough to play that job full time. The only reason he didn't play it full time is because they signed Marcus Peters to a crap ton of money. It didn't make sense to play him there full time because Peters is objectively a much better free safety and Chuck Clark is objectively a really good strong safety. It makes a ton of sense. But Chuck can play free safety at a high level. Now, I might change my tune if we cut Jordan Whitehead, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, Tashawn Gibson Sr., go get Jimmy Ward. Like one of these guys that has to come in because Chuck Clark is the Jordan Whitehead replacement. Makes a ton of sense. I get it. But until that happens, Chuck Clark is the free safety in my eyes because he can play that role relatively well. Ethan Pochich would also make a decent replacement for Connor McGovern. Absolutely. He's my target number 2. Until Ben Jones was cut, Ethan Pochich was my number 1 target. Vervain, I loved him because I think you can get him in here on a relatively cheap deal. 2 years, $12 million, 2 years, $14 million. Makes a ton of sense. For a guy like Ethan Pochich, and he's not going to be a world beater. It's a lateral move in the sense of going from McGovern to Pochich, but it's a veteran center. He's going to do his job relatively well. And if you get a guy like Ethan Pochich, and even if you get a guy like Ben Jones, the move has to be go get a rookie center. You know what I mean? You have to make it happen. So, yeah. Ooh. I'd rather trade for Mike Evans. Look, I get this sentiment too. Here's the only problem that I have with Mike Evans, and it has nothing to do with the player. I would love Mike Evans. Like, every day of the week, I would love Mike Evans. The problem is that contract, right? Because he's under contract for the next 2 years at $13 million is what the New York Jets would be taking on, which isn't that bad. But the problem is that he has void years on his contract. And so when it comes time for us to start paying big money to guys like Garrett Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, and all of those things, we would be carrying a moderately large dead cap hit for a guy that we kept for 2 years. Now, if we went and got Mike Evans for the 2 years that we have Aaron Rodgers and we're going to the Super Bowl for those 2 years, sign me up. I'm not saying no to Mike Evans, but at a certain point in time, you have to be able to say, we got to stop giving away assets. We got to stop trading for players. Now we got to draft guys. Now we got to go sign in free agency. We got to do those things. Odell is so 2015. Let's get someone better. Jets and Packers have their deal, just waiting on AR now. Not according to Tom Pelissero. According to Tom Pelissero, we don't have the deal yet. The deal is not in place. They've talked, but the deal is not in place. They are waiting for him. Cut Mosley, save $17 million. We can get Edmonds and Bates. You can't cut Mosley, though. The problem is if you cut Mosley, now we have no linebackers at all. At all. Like, cutting Mosley is not an option. We need to restructure. What we need to do is we need to extend C.J. Mosley. We need to tell C.J. Mosley, hey, we want you to retire a Jet. We're going to keep you here because he's, 31? We're going to keep you here for the next 5 years. We're going to give you a 5-year deal from now. So we'll keep you a New York Jet for the next 5 years. We'll give you the first 3 years guaranteed. But here's the thing. You need to lower your cap hit. You need to be a $13, $14, $15 million cap hit, not a $23 million cap hit. If you can be that number, you can be a Jet. Let's go get a ring. And then you can go get Edmonds. But to go get Edmonds and, like, here's the thing. This team doesn't, this system doesn't value safety that high. It just doesn't. This system doesn't value super high-level safeties because you don't need super high-level safeties in this system. Like, you just need guys that are going to get the job done, and that's it. You need Jags up there. The money that you spend on this roster, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, is always going to be in the front seven. It's always going to be in the front seven. The defensive line, the linebackers, and since we've got two insanely good corners in the corners, but we're not paying them anything right now. But that's the way that I look at it. Mosley is the heart of the defense. Quinnen is the muscle. I think we need CJ. I agree. Edmonds is better. I'm not saying that Edmonds isn't better than CJ, but Edmonds with CJ is better than Edmonds with what? Jamie and Sherwood? Because Edmonds is an off-ball linebacker, right? That's why he fits with the New York Jets. He's not a middle linebacker. He's a Will. He's not the Mike. We have a Mike in CJ. Now, if you're saying here, New York Jets superfan, that you believe in Jamie and Sherwood to partner with Tremaine Edmonds, that's a different conversation, and I'd be willing to entertain that conversation. But that's not what I think you're saying. You can't cut CJ if you don't think that we have a replacement in CJ. So, I got a feeling Jets fans are going to be gleeful when they see the deal he gets for Rodgers. I agree. I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, I've got so many receipts on Twitter of people I'm going to tweet that are like, you need to send us 3 first-round picks, Sauce Gardner, and Quinnen Williams. That's a real trade that I saw from a guy. Let that sink in, guys. We're going to trade 3 first-round picks, the best cornerback in football, and arguably the best defensive tackle in football, for a 40-year-old quarterback who might only play for 1 year. Make it make sense. Somebody, please. We need linebackers that can cover. Yeah, and CJ can do that. And Edmonds can do that well. And who covers in our linebacker room? The will linebacker, not the Mike. The Mike is put on the running back. The will is the one that's put on the tight end, the slot, and all those things. That's why Tremaine Edmonds fits this team so well. Because he would come in, he would slot into the will linebacker role fantastically. He would cover tight ends. He would even be able to keep up with some slot receivers at a relatively high level. We still have Will Parks on this team, so he can play that big nickel as well. We've got guys that we can start moving in and out of the linebacker room. And like I said, I love Edmonds. I want him on this team. But I want Edmonds with CJ, not Edmonds instead of CJ. Tomorrow is the deadline. Tampering starts on Monday. Most of the deals are made during illegal tampering. During the legal tampering. If this guy doesn't commit, he screws both teams. 100%. Can't cut Mosley. Dead cap hit makes it not worth it. No, you can cut him. Like if you designate him a June 1st dead cap, like we absolutely can. Like let me go to over the cap. We can cut CJ Mosley. You save $6 million if you cut him. Now, if you do it post June 1st, you save $17 million. The problem is you don't get that savings on the cap until after he's cut. It makes more sense, like I said, to restructure him. You save $11 million, and by restructuring his contract and saving $11 million, that's the $11 million that you need for Tremaine Edmonds. And CJ Mosley is the quarterback of that defense. So again, it makes too much sense to keep CJ because he was the only thing keeping the middle of our field semi-working last year. Whitehead wasn't working. Joyner wasn't working. Quincy and Quan, while nice players and nice guys, they weren't working. So, yeah. I don't want more than adequate anymore. I don't know what this means specifically. We can cut him post June 1st. Yep. Forget Rodgers. There's more upside to getting Lamar Jackson. Absolutely not. Rodgers is now holding the Packers and Jets hostage. Okay, let's put this one to bed. Absolutely not. Lamar Jackson does not have as high of an upside as Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about why, right? He has yet to prove that he can win games with his arm at the NFL level. Now, part of that is because of Baltimore and Greg Roman and the scheme and all of the things that he ran, right? And so there's that argument, and I'll listen to that argument because he started to look better as a passer late in the season. The other problem with him, I got a text. Sorry. Oh, I thought it was the news. It's not. It's not, guys. False alarm. So here's the thing, right? And so there is that aspect of it. Now, you're going to have to give up 2 first-round picks to go get him, right? And if you think that's a fine haul, fine. I don't think that is. I think that's way too much to give up for Lamar Jackson. Now, the other thing is, and here's the biggest problem with it, is the contract. I am not giving a guy who has not finished a season in the past 2 years a fully guaranteed contract for 5 years. I'm not going to do it. And if at any point in time Lamar backs away from the fully guaranteed contract that he wants, the Ravens are just going to match it. So it doesn't, like, people need to stop thinking that Lamar is an option. He's not. Lamar Jackson will be a Raven. They hit him with the non-exclusive tag for a reason. The Ravens want other general managers to reach out to Lamar so that Lamar can come back down to earth and get a grip and understand how this business works. If Lamar had an agent, he would have been signed with the Ravens forever ago, but he doesn't, and he's an idiot, and he thinks that the Deshaun Watson contract is the standard, and it's not. Nobody's going to be getting fully guaranteed contracts. The Browns are already hating that deal 1 year into it. They're already talking about putting 2 void years on the back end of it so that they can create cap space now. Like, that's the whole problem. Lamar Jackson's not an option. The Ravens aren't going to move on from Lamar. Nobody's pursuing Lamar. Why are the Atlanta Falcons not talking to Lamar Jackson? That made too much sense for him to be an Atlanta Falcon. Because the Falcons don't want to give him a fully guaranteed contract, and they know that whatever contract negotiation that the Atlanta Falcons and Lamar Jackson come together, which is not going to be a fully guaranteed deal ever, the Ravens are just going to match it. So it doesn't make sense. There's no point in even going because it's not a realistic option. The only team I think that might give Lamar Jackson the fully guaranteed contract now, but this is tinfoil hat on. Ready, guys? Is the Washington Commanders. What if Schneider wants to screw over the NFL and all of the owners? He can go up to Lamar, $250 million over 5 years, fully guaranteed, and then he gets booted out of the league a year later, and then whatever owner comes in is stuck with that contract, and he sets the precedent by fully guaranteeing another quarterback's contract. He can absolutely screw over the league, and that's kind of what I'm hoping happens because I think that would be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. But yeah, he's not really an option. Lamar ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Yep, that's true. If the Rodgers trade goes through, we're clearly in the win now. We're worth talking to the Cards about Hopkins. Not for me. Again, you can't keep trading away assets, right? Like, we still need linebackers. Like, and the 3rd round, which is probably a pick that you can get for DeAndre Hopkins, is probably worth a lot there. And my thing is like, while DeAndre Hopkins is very, very clearly an awesome wide receiver and he can come in and he can play at a high level, like OBJ, Adam Thielen, Alan Lazard, like there are guys out there and we don't need a number 1 wide receiver. Garrett Wilson is that dude. I think he is every bit as good as Stephon Diggs. I truly think that. When I was watching the Buffalo games, I could not tell them apart other than the fact of their color of their jersey when they were on the field. They looked so similar in their route running and their ability and their everything when it came to just doing their stuff. It is absolutely insane. Oh my gosh, we got 100 of you guys in here. Thank you so much for everybody for stopping by. Tigo, see, here's the thing, Larry. I was relaxed. I just kind of sound like I'm angry or like passionate or this is just how I talk. This is it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you guys. Let's see. Let's try to catch up on some of these comments. I'm convinced Rodgers is boosting his ego and having the Jets fawn over him, and then he's going to go back to the Packers to stick it to them. He gets off feeling like he has them by the balls. I don't know, because he needs to get the 2nd ring to cement his legacy. He's in legacy mode, Johnny. He needs to get the 2nd Super Bowl ring. And the Green Bay Packers are not in a position to help him get the 2nd Super Bowl ring. And at this point in his career, he needs to go get that 2nd ring look how important that 2nd ring was to Eli, and not just Eli, but to Peyton. You know, I think it makes a lot of sense when it happens like that. Tigo, it's a done deal. Everybody is so antsy for this to happen already, but I think JD is playing it like he do. He got all the playing cards in his hand. He'll get AR signed by Monday. I think so too. I think it either happens tomorrow or Monday morning. Yep. As a Jets fan, I know nothing is a done deal. Yep, that's two. Bella, Rodgers won't get the Jets to the Super Bowl. He played in an easier division and couldn't get the Packers there. Why do you think he's going to a harder division will change the outcome? Well, because we have a better defense. We will have a better offensive line. We will have a better run game. We have better wide receivers. The Miami Dolphins are falling apart because they're going to have to start Skylar Thompson for 10 games after Tua gets his 9th concussion. Then you add to the fact that we have Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore and Corey Davis, and those trio of wide receivers are better than any trio that Devontae Adams is probably is better than those three combined probably right now, and so I'll give him that. But he's never had as many weapons as he's gonna have in New York. Then he never had those amount of weapons in Green Bay, and a lot of people are sleeping on that NFC division because I don't think it's an easy division. While I think they were frauds in comparison to their record, I don't think they were as good as their record. The Vikings are a legitimate team. That's just the reality of it. The Lions, I think, have a real shot to win the NFC this year. That's one of I'm making a video of Tigo's top 5 hot takes where I'm going crazy with my hot takes, and that's one of them. And the Lions are built in such a good way on offense, and they have 2 first-round picks in the top 20 this year. And that division is going to get weaker. They're going to have to play the Bills. Not the Bills. They're going to have to play the Bears. So there's 2 wins right there. They're going to have to play Minnesota, and I think the Lions can take it to Minnesota. The Packers are going to get weaker because they're going to be playing Jordan Love, and they still don't have anybody on the offensive side of the ball in the sense that's super scary. And then let's look at the AFC East. Like I said, Miami's going to get worse because they're going to be playing Skylar Thompson for 10 games. And Vic Fangio is bringing in a whole new defensive scheme and play call. And it's a whole new, it doesn't, they're switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4. It's a whole thing. Then you look at the New England Patriots, and I'm not scared of the New England Patriots with Aaron Rodgers on my team. And then the Buffalo Bills still have a really, really bad offensive coordinator. They still don't have a run game. They still haven't fixed their offensive line. And they're about to lose Tremaine Edmonds. They're about to lose Jordan Poyer. They lost their defensive coordinator. There's a lot of things that, are balancing out the AFC East. And Aaron Rodgers if we had competent, middle of the pack quarterback play last year, I think we beat the Bills twice. I think we beat the Patriots twice. We split with Miami anyway, but I think we probably win that game at the end of the year against Miami, and we're in the playoffs. If we had Jared Goff, I think we win that game. Those games. Seriously, I think our team was that good last year. So, I know that's just me, and I might be looking at oh my gosh, Jets fans' perspective, but yeah, that's me. Lots of things here. Guys, if you want to get your chat read, because I'm going to have to start scrolling because I want to keep up with you guys because I'm way behind. If you want to get your chat read, super chats, skip the line, as you know. Also, if you want to skip and stop and interrupt the stream, you can do that too. There is in the link a donation, and it helps, and it comes directly to me. That's the last time I say it. I don't want to be the guy who's asking for money. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to hang out. More going to Green Bay in the trade package, but then it would be Aaron Rodgers for Elijah Moore. Straight up. They wouldn't get anything else. Because the New York Jets last year were asking for a first-round pick for Elijah Moore. That's why he didn't get traded. They were asking for a first. That's how much they value Elijah Moore. It is much, much, much more likely that Corey Davis goes in the other direction because Green Bay called on Corey Davis at the deadline. Remember that. Miami sucks. Yup. He's going or he's coming. Come on, Jacob, which is happening. Been saying it since Hackett signed here. Never been to this channel before. Well, thank you, Jacob. Thanks for stopping by and hang out. 120 of you guys in here. Holy crap. That's insane. It's the highest my stream has ever gotten. Guys, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers. It'd be so cool to be able to hit 2,000 subscribers in this stream. I am 18 away. Guys, I am 18 subscribers away. It'd be so cool to be able to say that. I got $100 on the Jets winning the AFC East. That's a good bet, man. If you made that bet before we got Rodgers, which obviously you did because we don't have Rodgers yet, and in the end, we see that we do get Rodgers, man, it makes a ton of sense. I think like this is why I'm not 100% like super worried about the whole Aaron Rodgers situation. Jesus Christ, I asked for subs. You guys are insane. I got 7 subs in 30 seconds. You guys are crazy. Jesus. 8. Oh my God. Back to what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying. What was I saying? Big Green, I wanted to finish my point. Can you remind me what I was saying? I lost my train of thought. You guys are insane. Red John with another $2. Thank you so much. If we don't get AR, what next 3 QBs do you like? Okay, let me pull up free agency. Oh my gosh, Johnny Boy just subbed. These are going to start pouring in, the subs. I forgot I have this is a thing. Oh God. Oh God. Belly81, thank you for hitting the subscribe button. If you guys want to see the dancing dinosaur and you want to see your name hop up, you know what to do. Quarterbacks. Okay. Let's look at it. Let's go on. Oh my gosh, Blade Runner, thank you so much. Here are the free agent quarterbacks that are on my list. Alrighty. It goes, if we're talking about free agents, at the top of my list is Jacoby Brissett. Jermaine Reyes, thank you so much. Is, like I said, Jacoby Brissett. He was with the Browns and had the Browns playing relatively well last year. They looked much better with Jacoby Brissett than they did with Deshaun Watson. So he's at the top of my list. The second name, and these two guys, I'm going to put these two guys in that same kind of thing, which is like, they're kind of like moxie guys. Like they would get the team to really get behind them and do that. And that is Taylor Heineke and where's the other one? And Gardner Minshew. These are two moxie guys. You know what I mean? Who dat dude? Thank you so much for subscribing. They're both like my second kind of option. And then my third option, here's the thing. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. And I know that this is probably going to lose me some subscribers. Like, if we're being honest here. This is probably a real thing. Jesus Christ, I'm 8 subs away. If it came down to it and we lose on Jacoby Brissett and we can't go get Jimmy Garoppolo and Gardner Minshew goes to Indianapolis to be with his offensive coordinator that he had in Philly, and Heineke goes back to the Commanders because the Commanders can't find anybody. And like we're sitting there staring down the barrel of an Andy Dalton-led Jets. Part of me looks at it and goes, I like Nathaniel Hackett so much as an offensive coordinator. Like he was my option, and it wasn't because of the Aaron Rodgers connection, that I would say he took Blake Bortles, a very, very clearly bad quarterback, to the playoffs. I might run it back with just Mike White and Zach Wilson. But, like, again, that's, like, worst case scenario. Like we have to lose out on Brissett, Dalton, Heineke, Minshew, Garoppolo. Like, that's a lot of people that, like, for me to get to that point, but that's where I'm at. Thank you again, Red John. Blade Runner, thank you so much. AR didn't want an announcement to take attention from his charity event. That's why we haven't heard anything yet. Tomorrow is the day. Good job, Tigo. Thank you so much, Blade Runner. This is an interesting point. It makes kind of sense. Kind of makes sense. You know, he did have a charity event. He did play with the boys. And and did all those things. This is a good point, Blade Runner. This is a great point. I appreciate you guys so much. Aaron Rodgers, I'm worried about you too, bro. Look, Aaron, from the bottom of my heart, just come to New York. We'll love you. That's it. We'll love you forever. You can wear 12. You can not wear 12. There's no wrong decision. Come here, win a Super Bowl. We know that you're dating the Bucks' daughter. You already have an apartment in Manhattan. If you come here and you win here, you'll never pay for a meal for the rest of your life. And then you could probably run for mayor of the city and you'll probably get elected. Like, that's a reality. Like, I'm not in New York, so I can't vote for you. But, like, New York, they'll vote for you. People from New Jersey will lie to get to New York to vote for you. Come on, Aaron. The dancing T-Rex is great. I thought so, right? I thought it was a good little incentive. If you make your subscriptions public, which a lot of people do and they don't know that, if your subscriptions are public, if you hit the subscribe button, you get a little dancing dino. There's a lot of stuff like that. So there you go. Harlan saying it for me. Thank you all for the new subscribers. I cannot begin to say how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. IDK, how Rodgers even still plays football. I take LSD and I'm ready to live in a tent and be penniless. If I was a millionaire and I took psychedelics, I'd be retired swimming at the beach. Lol. This is a good point, man. I'm not a drug guy. I've never done any of that stuff. I've never done any of those things, like, at all. But from what I've been told, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Oh, let's see. I thought you were about to say you were fine with Andy Dalton. Look, I'm not saying that I'm fine with Andy Dalton, but I'm not saying that I'm not fine with Andy Dalton. Look at his numbers and what he did with a really, really bad New Orleans team. He wasn't that bad. As like an option 4 before like Zach Wilson has to start again, Andy Dalton's not bad for like a 1-year rental. With Jameis Winston probably going back to the Saints, I'm just saying, don't overlook Dalton. Jacob, you have to have your subscriptions be public. If your subscriptions aren't public, then you don't get the dancing dinosaur. Like I said, I got so many subscribers. I am 3 away. I'm 2 away from 2,000 subscribers, but the dancing dinosaur only happens for people who make their subscriptions public. If we lose out on everyone, JD is a goner. Yeah. It depends on how the season goes. He'll get the rest of the season. That's the real thing. Ooh, 1 subscriber away. I'm at 1,999 subscribers. Oh my gosh. Did we do it? 2,000! Guys, all right, let's take the headset off. Take the hat off. Crazy Tigo here. Let's say some things real quick, and then we're gonna get back to this conversation. I started this channel I live in Florida. I didn't know very many Jets fans around here, and I wanted to talk Jets. And the absolute massive amount of support and everything. Vinny, cool joke. Thank you so much. That the channel and that you guys have shown me and all of that stuff is absolutely phenomenal. And I cannot begin to put into words how quickly this channel has grown. I know people that have been on YouTube for years and don't have 2,000 subscribers. And I was able to get to 2,000 subscribers in under a year, which is absolutely insane. And I promise you this, I'm not in a position to do a giveaway right now. I really, really, really do want to do a giveaway, and I want to give something away to you guys. Like, I don't even... Give me a second, let me find something. I wish I had something. I wish I had something. I really do. And I will do something. But I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. Let's get crazy on this stream. This one's for you guys. I appreciate you. Back to the stream. Let's stop getting all mushy and gushy, and before Vern and everyone gets right, then I'm going to start crying. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. You guys are insane. Oh, where was I? As a Packers fan, I've been watching Jets channels all day. Harrison Hagen. I have been watching Packers fans and Jets fans all day just to see where, just to see everybody and to see everything and to do everything. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Oh, okay. Ready? I got it. This Friday, we're going to have a stream at 10 o'clock. We do a Friday stream every Friday at 10 o'clock. Just Jim_19. Thank you for subscribing. I miss TP Jets 62 subscribing. Thank you very much for subscribing. Can't chug it. I will throw up, Vern. Here's the TP Jets 62. There he is. On Friday, I will give away a Talking Jets with Tigo shirt to somebody on Friday. Book it. It's going to happen. I have merch. I'm going to get it. I'm going to send it to you guys. And whoever wins, I'm also going to send this Elijah Moore rookie card. So you'll get a Talking Jets with Tigo shirt and an Elijah Moore rookie card. That's happening this Friday. So be here. And that's just because I have no money and I can't get it to you guys. So Andrew, thank you so much for subscribing. I can't, you guys are absolutely insane. Aaron Rodgers with another $2 donation. I want to drop the ball myself next year. I'll give you we'll give you the keys to the city, whatever you want. You get whatever you want. See, and here's the thing, Aaron Rodgers, that you're not remembering, right? Woody Johnson is the heir to Johnson & Johnson. We're talking about medical-grade psychedelics, my good sir. Think about it. The purest ayahuasca you've ever seen in your life. The purest shrooms, medical-grade shrooms. I'm just saying. Oh, congrats on 2K. Congrats. Thank you guys so much. Upgrade to Busch Light. I have this because this is what my dad drinks. I don't even drink. Well, I'll have a whiskey or whatever, but that's all the way in the other room. And that's far. That's far. He's going to be a Packer by Friday. Who, Aaron Rodgers? Who are we talking about? The only thing is you're probably only going to get one good year out of Rodgers. Is that worth giving up all them picks? Rodgers is 40. Here's the thing. I don't think it's all of them picks. I think the Aaron Rodgers trade is going to look something along the lines of what the Brett Favre trade looked like. And the Brett Favre trade, when that happened, was a conditional 4th-round pick. Now, here's the thing. You have to remember that it was it happened after the draft, right? So they couldn't do a pick for that year that he was going to play. So they did a pick the year later. And so you're looking at a day 2 pick, like a 2nd or a 3rd-round pick, and you're going to look at a conditional pick for 2024. Where if he doesn't play, it's probably like a 4th or a 5th-round pick, and then it's going to go all the way up. So it's not all of that stuff. And here's the thing. Tom Brady played until he was 45, right? And he played at a relatively high level until he was 45. There's a lot of people asking for Tom Brady to come back for this year. They think that he can still do it. I think Aaron is truly doing all of these games and doing all of this stuff to get back at the Packers. This is exactly what Brett Favre did when Aaron Rodgers' time was up. And so sorry to say this, Harrison Hagen, but the moment that they a new head coach comes in, drafts his replacement, and then he goes on to win back-to-back MVPs, and then they don't want to give him his money, this just seems like a lot of ways to just get back at the Packers. When he comes to the Jets, we're going to This is going to be a different city. There's not anyone snipping at his heels. This is a team that's in win now mode. This is a team that if he takes us to the playoffs, he'll be loved. If he wins a Super Bowl with us, he'll become a legend, and there'll be a statue made for him outside. It's a different situation. So I totally look at it and I say, I think you're getting Aaron Rodgers for at least 2 years because of the $100 million that he's owed over the next 2 years. And I am totally okay with giving up the picks for Aaron Rodgers for 2 years. So that's me. I agree, Harrison Hagen. Aaron Rodgers could play for another good 3 to 4 years. I absolutely think that's true. I think he can play at a really high level for the next 3 to 4 years. And if not, I think, like I said, and this is no disrespect to the Packers, but I think we have built a team. We have built a team that will ultimately be better than anything he's played with in Green Bay, like all around. It's a top 5 defense. It will be a top 5 offense. Like, this is a team that's ready to win now. So, yeah. They paid Aaron a ton of money. Yeah, they did. But it was because he was pulling off all of this shenanigans. I see you guys talking about the Grossi bit. I was like, if he put on a Jets jersey, it'd be the same thing. It's an identical situation of what all of us are doing. Because we're just sitting here just like, it's funny, right? So last night, I was talking with some of my friends and whatever. We were on a Discord call until we were on the call until 1 a.m. And I obviously I had Twitter open and we were just hanging out. And I was like, you know what? Let me just hang out. And then I went to sleep. And so my wife took the baby in the morning when he woke up. And the baby takes 2 naps, right? So his first nap is around 9 or 10 o'clock. And I was still in bed. I was KO'd because I was awake till 2 a.m. So I go into the living room. And me and my wife are exhausted, and I'm waking up in the middle of the night because, if my phone rings or whatever, I have it on loud for some reason. I'm letting this take over my whole life for some reason, and the real thing is, okay, let me tell you why it's taken over my whole life, and it's because of Ian from Jet Central, right? Ian from Jet Central gets his videos out so fast. It's insane how quickly he gets his videos out. And every time there's a breaking news topic, I try to race Ian to try to get my video out first. And right now I'm batting 500. We're I'll beat him, he'll beat me, and all of that stuff. But I want to beat one of the things that I really want to do is I want to have the first video. Oh, Ian is the man. Don't get me wrong. I love Ian. I would love to have a video with Ian. Ian doesn't live that far away from me. We're both down here in Florida. I think he's an hour south of me. But yep. All right, guys, welcome in. But he is so fast with his videos. And so my thing is I want to absolutely be the first person to get the Aaron Rodgers trade video out. So I'm freaking out about every tweet because I want to be the first one to get it out. So me and my wife decided that we were going to take a nap while the baby was napping. So we had the monitor in front of me and we were laying down on the couch, and I had my pillow. And she was laying down on my pillow, and I had my phone right underneath my pillow. But I keep it if I'm laying here, my phone will stay here so that it's not vibrating on my head. But she put her head right there. And then the restructures all came in this morning, so my phone started vibrating. She threw my phone across the living room. She was like, "What the crap is this?" And she threw it. And I was like, "No, it might be Aaron Rodgers." I had to crawl over her, crawl over the coffee table to get to my phone. And it's just like, oh no, we just restructured $15 million worth of stuff. But yeah, no, I love Ian, but this is why I'm on my phone and I'm crazy. But they paid Aaron a lot of money. Do you think Rodgers will fit in New York? He's so mellow and New Yorkers are so not mellow. Seems like a personality clash. See, here's the thing, the landlord harassment channel. I love this. Here's the thing. I think his personality will match perfectly with New York. Remember, Eli wasn't the biggest personality or the biggest thing or anything. Eli was mellow. Eli was chill. Eli was just hanging out. That's it. I think you don't need a big personality for New York. I think you need a mellow personality for New York. Because if you can just let things hit you and then bounce right off. Monkey Man Stand, thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button. You guys are insane. I think he has a personality that can handle it. So, yeah. And remember, everything that happens with the New York Jets is happening in New Jersey. And New Jersey's kind of mellow anyway, right? So, there you go. Grossi did a green bean raid. That's so cool. Did he? That's awesome. I didn't even know they knew each other. You beat everyone on the restructuring. Did I? I didn't think I did. All right, guys. Welcome in. I love Ian, man. Ian is one of the best. I love it. Hey, you're in Florida. Where in Florida, Dark? Why didn't you tell me? I would have drove out there. Dang, Tigo, married, next level. Congrats, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. Married. We have our 8-month-old, 9-month-old now. Jesus Christ. Have another one on the way. Very, very excited. There's my beautiful little family right there. That's my wife. And that's my baby boy. And that's awesome. I love those guys. They're my life. Do everything for them. Hagen had a great question. I got to find it. Where is it? I saw it. Look, the Packers only want to get rid of Rodgers because of love, awkwardness of the situation. Yep, this isn't what I read, though, but I agree with you. I personally, as a Packers fan, want more in a couple of picks. Where is your... So, in your opinion, what do you think the trade entails? Here's the thing. And no, Gaming with Creepmaster, we don't have any news yet, which sucks. Here is what I think the package and the trade and the everything will entail. I think you guys will get a day 2 pick this year. Whether it's a second or a third depends on a couple of things. 1, are there any players involved? If there is a player involved, I think it's a third, and that player and the trade is done. If it's no players involved, then I think the trade is a second-round pick this year, and then the exact same conditional stuff that was used on the Brett Favre trade for the Aaron Rodgers for like 2024 for Aaron Rodgers. So if he's on the roster, it's a 4th-round pick straight up if he doesn't play. It's a 3rd-round pick if he plays 70% of the snaps. It's a 2nd-round pick if he plays 80% of the snaps and gets us to the playoffs. And then it's a 1st-round pick if we win the Super Bowl. And so that's how I look at it. But if a player is going, there are 3 players that I think that the Green Bay Packers would be interested in and that the Jets would be willing to trade. And those 3 guys are, 1, Corey Davis. Remember that the Green Bay Packers called on Corey Davis last year on the trade deadline. And I think you guys could use a veteran presence in the wide receiver room to help some of those young guys that you've got. Because you have some really, really interesting budding talent in that wide receiver room. They just need a veteran presence. So there's that. Next, Bryce Huff. I think you guys could use the help. Could use the help on the edge, and Bryce Huff being a situational pass rusher would help you guys a lot. It would suck to see him go as a part of a trade, but it's a player that I see that the Jets might be willing to let go and that you guys would be interested in. And then, and this one hurts my heart a lot, but it's Max Mitchell. I love Max Mitchell. He is my son, everything like that. It's a joke. I have a Max Mitchell shirt design, okay? In the works. That's how much I love Max Mitchell. But you guys also need help on the offensive line over there. And I think you could take a guy like Max Mitchell, who was a 4th-round pick and has a lot of upside on a really cost-controlled contract, who started at right tackle for the Jets last year. And he can come in and start for you guys. Now, am I happy if any of those guys go? No, not really. But if that's what it means to get Aaron Rodgers, I like Aaron Rodgers more than I like any of those guys. An outside shot might be like a guy like Carl Lawson, because Carl Lawson's a really, like, we might cut Carl Lawson anyway, and you guys could use Carl Lawson for 1 year. So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. If you're getting a player, it's probably a third and that player. If you're getting more, if you're not getting a player, I think it's a second-round pick and then a bunch of conditions. Hope that answers your question. Great question, Harrison. Love it. Grossi is everywhere, like auction. I love Grossi. Grossi was the first sports channel I ever followed. Ever. Like, ever. He's great. I personally think Rodgers is done with the Packers. The Jets have already been releasing players to free up cap space. Okay. I'm going to dissect this into a couple of parts. The first part, I think you're right. I think he is done with the Packers. And I think the Packers are done with him. Makes a ton of sense for them to split up. Here's the thing, right? I think that the Jets needed to create cap space anyway. We were underneath the cap. We need to sign players. We were going to go about creating cap space no matter what. So I don't think the two are necessarily related. But yeah. Honestly, this could be one of the weirdest trades. Harrison, you're absolutely right. All the back and forth now is on the cap hit buffer. Yep. Maybe one day we could all take a cruise together. Me and my wife, we're going on a cruise in April, right after the draft. It's going to be fun. Oh, crap. We're going on a cruise in April. Give me a second. Can one of you guys tell me when the draft is? Like, the specific dates of the draft are? You guys know? Can one of you guys tell me? I forgot I have a cruise in April. Packers take a huge hit on dead cap money if they trade now. They're going to want the Jets to help ease that pain. Incorrect. They save $6 million if they trade him now. Now, they can save like $30 million if they wait till June 1st, but no team is waiting until June 1st. Oh my gosh. The last day of the draft is the first day of my cruise. Oh, thank the Lord. I go on my cruise on the 29th, so I'll be there for the first 2 days. Fantastic. Man, I'm going to have to grind and make all the videos for the week that I'm gone. Crap. That's going to suck, but it'll be great. Still nothing. Yeah, nothing, Adam S. Off-subject question. Do you believe Sean Payton is the greatest offensive coach of all time? I do not. I know there's who's that? There's an argument of Bill Walsh, right? I wasn't alive to really watch Bill Walsh or anything like that, and I understand that argument because he developed the West Coast system, which is what most NFL teams are trying to run nowadays. That being said, for me, the best offensive mind that I have ever seen is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan made Jimmy Garoppolo look like a $40 million quarterback. Kyle Shanahan, I think legitimately, could pull a fan who played quarterback in high school out of the stands every week, run up a set of plays and all of that stuff, like a playbook for him, and with a different fan every week, I think he could still win 9 to 10 games. Kyle Shanahan, for me, is right up there and probably tied with Andy Reid. Andy Reid and Kyle, for me, are the guys. I love those two guys, and I might give Andy the edge because of the, what he was able to do with Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes was a project quarterback. And Andy Reid was absolutely able to get there and work with him and develop him. And now he's the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Or he will end up being the greatest quarterback we've ever seen play this game. But what Kyle is doing with that team, to me, when he's had a question mark at quarterback for so long, to continue to be competitive, for so long, to get to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G, for me, seems like such a difficult thing to do, and he did it. To get Brock Purdy to win 6 or 7 games as the last pick in the draft. Ooh. I think I think my recency bias is what's getting me because of the whole Brock Purdy situation, because I didn't like Brock Purdy as a prospect. I thought he was very limited and he tailored his offense, tailored a playbook just for the kid and his skill set, and boom, did it. But yeah. But it's probably Andy and Kyle for me. Didn't they just sign a safety from the Ravens? No, we traded for a safety from the Ravens, and they were fantastic. I could win with a middle school QB. Respect me. Thank you, Kyle. I don't know. A middle school QB might be under 5 foot. I'm saying a high school one just because like they'll be over 6 foot. So, yeah. Mike Martz, Andy Reid is up there, but he didn't win without Mahomes and Kelsey. I don't buy into the whole, you didn't win without, like, Belichick's never won without Brady. Doesn't take away from Belichick's defensive greatness, you know? He's still one of the best defensive guys out there. Great stream, Tigo. Well done getting 2Ks. I'm headed out. It's 3:18. I'm in England. I'll need to get some sleep. Have a good one. Saw the City badge. I'm a Tottenham fan, if you're wondering. I'm more of a Real Madrid fan, but I love watching the Tottenham games every week. It's fantastic. Have a good night. Don't be surprised when you hear talks about him speaking with the Raiders front office and Devontae Adams. The Raiders have already said they're out on Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Raiders are in on it. I'm the greatest QB of all time. I think you're the greatest thrower of the football of all time. If Peyton and Belichick ever coached together, they would go 16-0 every year. Absolutely. That'd be a very scary duo. Yeah, but I think you can. Right? Because like it's the pairing is always head coach and quarterback, and it doesn't necessarily like I'm blanking. I'm blanking. I'm blanking on his name. I'm not even going to tell you guys so you guys don't okay. Sean McDermott is who I couldn't remember. Like, Sean McDermott is forever going to be attached to Aaron Rodgers. And even though Brian Daboll has more to do with with Josh Allen's success and what he is, and by the way, wait a couple of years, Brian Daboll might be the best offensive coach in the NFL. Like, and I think that truthfully. Brian Daboll is that dude. Thank you, Andrew. Have a good night. You got to tag the head coach and the quarterback together. That's how you do it. It's always like that. It's always going to be like that. Raiders are rebuilding. Yep. I think Jimmy G heads out there. Familiar with his team, familiar with the situation. It makes a ton of sense. Their Eagles will clash with each other, or them will probably want it their way. Or yeah. I'd be shocked if the trade is more than a 2023 second and a 2024 third. I think that third needs to be filled with a bunch of conditions. But yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Think so too. Man, I was hoping for a first and Elijah Moore. You're not going to get both. Last year, when people were calling for Elijah Moore, we said a first straight up. That's how much they value him. Not going to get both. My top 5 all-time QBs: Breeze, Rodgers, Marino, Manning, Elway. It's a good list. If Rodgers does not come to New York, what do you do? Would you start White? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Look, Mike White, thank you for coming to New York. Thank you for doing the things that you did in New York. Enjoy Miami. Enjoy LA. Those seem like places that would be better for you. And that you're going to have your opportunity to be better and do better. I'm not bringing back Mike White. I'm ready to move on. with Mike White under center, we were unable to win the last 6 games of the year. Now, part of that was because of Mike LaFleur, and I totally get that. But I'm kind of done. And it's not anti Mike White sentiment. It's just I've seen what I've seen. I've seen enough. I don't need to see more from Mike White to know it just isn't going to work out here. So there's that. And I'm not even going to bring up the injuries, which is a concern, but I'm not even going to bring that up. I wanted Dable when we signed Salah. Oh, well, I did too. I wanted Dable. My list was Dable, Salah. That's what I wanted. I wanted one of those 2 guys. And we got Salah, and I'm cool with it. But I think Dable is an insanely talented guy. Have a good one, Dark. Have a safe flight back to Arizona, I believe is where it is. Good night. How annoyed would you be if Aaron takes longer to decide than the legal tampering period starts? Then I think we've pivoted from quarterback at that point. If it happens if we don't have an answer by tomorrow, I think we have a new quarterback on Monday. I think like Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, somebody is our new quarterback Monday. We're not going to let it go into the legal tampering period. Packers don't have O-line issues. However, we could use an upgraded center. Yeah. You want Connor McGovern? Even though we can't trade for him? Brady beat both Breeze and Rodgers in the playoff with the Bucks. Yeah, but no, there's no but. Yeah, he did it. No, didn't it? Oh yeah, because he didn't hit any of the other. He didn't hit any of the other milestones. He got hurt at the end of the. We were 8-3, and he got hurt, and then we just the season fell apart. I think for real, you guys would have ended up with the first round pick, because I think we could have gone to the Super Bowl that year with Brett Favre, but you guys only got a 4 because Brett Favre got hurt because of all the conditions, and then he went to Minnesota. Dominic Abatino, thank you so much for subscribing. Guys, there's also a little animation if you, not of Super Chat, but if you do a donation, there's that. If you buy merch and that, and all of those links are in the description. Also, if you want to join, I haven't mentioned this. I forgot to mention this. I have a membership group. I'm going to start doing member-only videos when we start getting some members. If you want to become a member of the Tigo Navy, you can do that in the description below. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and it really helps out the channel. That's the last shameless plug. We're done. I don't like doing that. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. Tigo, what cruise line are you going on? We're going on a Disney cruise. It's for my son's first-ish birthday. He was born in June. And my parents with my niece, they did a Disney cruise for her first-ish birthday. So we're taking my my youngest on it so that he can experience all the stuff. But when we cruise normally, we tend to do more like Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Lines kind of stuff, because Disney cruises are so expensive. It's insane. Here's the problem with Jimmy G, Christopher, is I'm scared that Kyle Shanahan covered up a lot of the mistakes that Jimmy G has and does, and that Harrison Hagen, thank you so much for subscribing, that Jimmy G does and all of that stuff, and I'm worried about it. So, yeah. Where's your question? I don't see your question. Can you repost it? I'll read it. I didn't see it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't see your question. Scrolled up for a little bit. Repost it. Well, here's the thing, Matthew Smith. I was in the Navy. A lot of people don't know that. I was a sailor. So I have my Patreon, and we're going to start doing stuff in the Patreon when that starts taking off a little bit more, if that takes off. But like with the membership group, I thought I'd keep it a little bit closer to home. And so Yeah. Tigo Navy. I like the idea. I like anchors. I have a whale tattoo there. I'm getting an ocean tattoo here. Like, it's my thing. So, yeah. The Tigo Tiger Club. Rawr. That's not bad. I should have asked you guys what to name this stuff. Since we are the Jets, maybe Tigo's Air Force would be more appropriate. Hey! I ain't part of the Chair Force. I was in the Navy. Did a lot of time with the Marines. It was cool. I love my time in the Navy. There are a lot of issues at play. It's most likely coming down to other players, and the Jets are trying to recruit on Aaron's behalf, some of who are on the Packers. Yeah, that's a real thing. Trade Wilson for a fourth, get back draft capital after the Rodgers trade. Nah, you keep Wilson on board. You hope that maybe there is an off chance that Aaron Rodgers rubs off on Zach, and then in his third year or in his fifth year, you say, hey, let's see what we've got. Why the F we don't like black quarterbacks? What do you mean? We drafted Geno. We started Geno for a long time. We broke Geno's jaw because he was our quarterback. I don't think it has anything to do with race. I'm a Niner fan. Jimmy G did take us to the Super Bowl. He's just was a bad habit of making mistakes, but I agree with you, Tigo. See, like I'm saying, I don't know if Jimmy G's success was because of Jimmy G or if it was because of Kyle Shanahan. And I tend to believe it's more Kyle Shanahan because look at what he did with Brock Purdy. So there's that. This is a great point too. Where is it? We had Mike Vick. Teddy Bridgewater's career was saved because of us. Drafted Geno, started Vick, started Quincy Carter, Jeff Blake. These are all true. And I know why you said that. It's because you want Lamar. And Lamar's not a good option. And that's why. That was the point that you were trying to make. But yeah. Alrighty, let me update Twitter. Let me see anything. I don't care about Keanu Reeves doing another show. I don't care about any of these things. Someone retweeted my tweets. This is all not what I need in my life right now. Jesus, guys, we're a quarter of the way to 2,100 subscribers. There are 100 of you in here. That's insane. 150 of you in here. Absolutely insane. You guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. Can't appreciate it. 95 likes. Could we get to 100? Could we get 4 more of you to hit the like button? I'd appreciate that. That'd be awesome. This is my best live stream ever. I was only planning on coming on for like an hour. We're an hour and a half deep. We're going to keep going. Not going to end on when all of this stuff is happening. Lamar isn't a good option. What was Zach supposed to be? Like, I don't see how the 2 points match. Like, they're two different things. Like, completely. Like, Zach was on his rookie deal and had a ton of upside. He still has a ton of upside. Don't get it twisted. Has a ton of upside. Don't get it wrong. And then if we partner that with, now we're going to have to trade 2 first-round picks for a guy who hasn't completed an entire season and has statistically gotten worse every one of those seasons and wants a fully guaranteed contract, even though he can't stay healthy. Nah, I'm good. I'll stick with Aaron Rodgers, and if that doesn't work out, I'll pivot to Jacoby Brissett. Because Jacoby Brissett's going to cost, what, $10 to $15 million instead of $50? I'm good. No, like, I'm good with all that. I was kind of curious as to why Lamar isn't a good option as a whole myself. That's it. It's just the whole one. There's no contract. There's no world in which we offer Lamar a fully guaranteed contract. And so if we negotiate with Lamar and we get to, like, let's say $230 million. Gary DePhillips, thank you so much for subscribing. If we get to a contract and it's like 5 years, $230 million, $170 million guaranteed, and we give him that offer sheet, the Ravens are just going to match it. It doesn't make sense wasting time having a conversation with Lamar Jackson while these other quarterbacks are getting signed when you know that the Baltimore Ravens are going to sign any deal that Lamar gets. Remember that they can match any offer that Lamar gets. And the only one that they won't match is a fully guaranteed offer. And the only team in a position to give him a fully guaranteed offer is the Washington Commanders, because Dan Snyder just wants to screw over the league because they're going to force him out. And that's it. So there you go. Rodgers isn't announcing anything until it's a primetime hour. Assume tomorrow night to make Monday morning headline takeover. This makes good points. The window is now. We can't wait 3, 4, 5 years when all these young players ask for their monies. Rodgers win nows. Here's the thing, Abraka daughter. Here's the thing, AD. That's what we're gonna call you. I think if we work this and we play this correct, we can turn our 2-year window, our 2 or 3 year window, into a 10-year window. Now, hear me out. Everyone, take off your hats. Put on your tinfoil hats, right? And let's get to some big brain thinking. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go trade for Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to win back-to-back Super Bowls, right? So I need you to stick here with me before you go off. Stick here. Stay here. Stay right here in the moment. Then, because we took Zach's 5th-year option, we're going to take Zach's 5th-year option, and we're going to run 1 year of Zach Wilson. And all of that Aaron Rodgers goodness rubbed off right on Zach Wilson. We signed Zach Wilson to a 5-year extension. Boom. And because it would only be 1 year of success, he's not going to be able to get a massive deal. Boom, we still got all the money in the world. Now, let's say Zach Wilson's not the guy. You don't want to take his 5th-year option, that's fine. We convince Aaron Rodgers to come back for 1 more year. Run that 3rd year, right? Win a 3rd Super Bowl. So now we win 3 Super Bowls back to back to back. You know who's coming out of the draft in 3 years? Think about it. Arch Manning. So then what we do is we go and we create a San Francisco 49ers-like package to move all the way up to the number 1 draft pick, and we end Rodgers' career with 3 Super Bowls, the parades, the everything, boom, and we start our future, and finally we get a Manning in New York in green. Big brain, tinfoil hat, guys. You heard it here first. Oh, I'm so stupid. The fact that you guys sat through that is absolutely insane. Oh, I'm crazy. Blade Runner, thanks for your service, and God bless your beautiful family. Thank you so much, Blade Runner. I appreciate you greatly. Oh, I'm so stupid. Can you imagine if that happened, though? How great would that be? Okay, let's take away the 3 consecutive Super Bowl wins. But let's say we do play Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, and then we go and get Arch Manning, so we get another Manning in New York. Remember, Peyton snubbed us. He went back to school, that bastard. And then Eli came to New York to the wrong team. We need a Manning in Gotham Green. Make it happen. Oh, man. I have such a low tolerance. Oh. Who has Lamar spoken to? Doesn't seem like the league is knocking on his door down to give him what he wants. No one, not a single team has reached out to him. And it's not because I don't think the teams don't like his ability. It's because nobody wants to give him the fully guaranteed contract. And there was a report that came out that where a GM literally said why, I think it was the Atlanta GM. And they were asked, why aren't you guys interested in Lamar? And he literally said, we're not going to do DaCosta's dirty work. And I was just like, ooh, there it is. The Ravens were so smart by hitting him with the non-exclusive tag. Because either he signs the non-exclusive tag and they keep him for a year at $32 million, which is a steal for Lamar Jackson when Danny Dimes is making 40, Or he realizes that Lamar realizes that nobody is going to give him the offer that he wants. He goes back to the Ravens and he goes, all right, let's make a deal happen. And then they finally get his extension done because no team is going to do the dirty work for DaCosta. And there you go. Rodgers does not want to babysit Wilson. He doesn't have to. I don't think he's going to. But, like, you have to remember, Hagan, that they have a good relationship. They talked in the season, like in the middle of the season, like regularly, you know? So, Tiago, how long have you been a Jet fan? My whole life. I really started understanding what was happening on the screen, like to be a Jet fan when I was like 6. I am 27 or 28 right now. I don't know. I was born in 95. One of you guys do the math. I was born November 3rd, 1995. I think I'm 27, 28. If my wife was awake, I'd ask her. But yeah. Love it, Tigo. I'm dying here. Yeah, it's great. It's so dumb. The script. Oh no, did I leak it? It's not that, Tigo. It's not that, Tigo. If you offer Lamar a contract right now, it counts on your cap, and you can't use that money to sign free agents. That too. Again, you can finagle the cap so that the cap hit is lower in year 1, and then it's like way bigger in year 2. I think the contract details for Derek Carr with the Saints dropped. Yeah, he's a $7 million cap hit this year. Did you guys know that? He's a $7 million cap hit. Next year, he's 35. The year after that, he's 45. And the year after that, he's 55. So, yeah, that's it. Derek Carr is essentially a 2-year deal. Yeah. Yep. Well, I was 98. Cool. Rodgers staying in Green Bay? I don't think so. Someone should offer Lamar a contract with a poison pill in it like we did Curtis Martin. That's an interesting take. But what poison pill could you put in this year? Like what? That's an interesting take. What happened? Gotta get put in timeout, bud. I've got Twitter open. Come on, dude. I didn't even see that. I got, like, how you're not going to get me. I've got Twitter open and auto refreshing. And I've got something with an Aaron Rodgers notification. So if anybody anywhere on Twitter tweets anything that says Rodgers in it, I'll know. You're not going to get me. Guys, don't worry about the trolls. Don't worry about this guy. Okay? If it breaks, first of all, if it breaks, I'm ending the stream and I'm going to go record my video and then I'll be back. Because I got to beat Ian. Remember, I got to beat Ian. But yeah. If Rodgers isn't a Jet by tomorrow, I'm going to get annoyed. I'm already kind of annoyed with it, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I'm already kind of annoyed. See, here's the thing, right? That's not a poison pill. That's what he wants. That's what he's asking for. He's asking for $250 over 5, fully guaranteed. That's $50 a year. Has to be, right? He knows either Rappaport or Shefty, right? Like, there has to be something along those lines. Poison pills have been outlawed by the NFL. Damn, that sucks. If you only had the Jets as an option, it would already have been done. I don't think so, because it's not a matter of Green Bay and the Jets not agreeing to it. It's a matter of Aaron Rodgers not deciding to go yet. Diego, I think the Jets need a backup plan for Rodgers. Is happy one day, sad the next, very weird. Yeah. But again, like, There are other options at quarterback out there, and like I said, we need league average play. If Jacoby Brissett was the New York Jets quarterback last year, we probably go to the playoffs and probably win a game in the playoffs, if I'm being honest. So it's one of those things where like there's a lot of situations there. But who isn't annoyed? Exactly, Ronald Perry. Watch Aaron stay in Green Bay. That would be so weird if he decides to stay after the CEO and Gutekunst and all of these guys come out and start singing their praises for Love. Like, do you trade? Let me ask you this, Hagen. Do you trade Jordan Love if that's the situation, if he decides to come back? That's an interesting contract situation. I hope not. I'm not a Jimmy G guy. Need to do a video about the Jets' 2023 schedule with Rodgers and without Rodgers. We'll have an answer tomorrow. That would have been a great idea. I should have done that. Last year was last year. You want the best you can get at the most important position. Stafford's contract is untradeable. Yep. Rodgers is probably negotiating for a spot on Talking Jets with Higo. Dude, anytime. Just DM me. My DMs are open. Whenever you want. The Raiders have already said that they're out on it. And I'm not worried about the Raiders. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is ultimately the person that gets to decide where he wants to go, why would he go to the Raiders, of all places? The Raiders don't have an offensive line. Yes, they have Devontae Adams. I'll give you that. And yes, they have Josh Jacobs. I'll give you that. But their defense is absolutely atrocious. And who wants to work with Josh McDaniels? That seems to me like a matchup that would never work. It's been like this the past 3 years, mate. To answer your question, I have no idea. It would be so awkward paying Love and Rodgers. Exactly. It's funny. 9 p.m. tomorrow, it gets announced. The Packers have accepted a trade by the Jets for Jordan Love. Oh, my God. I guess that is an option that no one talked about. Rodgers traded tomorrow, so Jets can make wooing calls Monday. Rodgers not going to hurt his roster building. Yeah, I agree. Either way, we know tomorrow. Like, here's the thing, right? Because I don't think the legal tampering period starts until Monday at 4, right? So technically, he could announce it like Monday at 2 o'clock. Like, tell everybody and like just announce it himself on Twitter. I should probably follow Aaron Rodgers, right? Does Aaron Rodgers have a Twitter? How do I not follow Aaron? That's probably a good idea. There you go. Just in case he tweets it. Let's be honest. Look, I'm upset with the fact that we're still here waiting for it and that we're doing all this stuff. But the Aaron Rodgers conversation and all that stuff has given my channel a big, big boost. The last time I had a boost this big, ironically, was when I made a video where I really liked on Denzel Mims, which exploded, by the way. I had 20,000 views in, I think it was 28 hours. It was insane. It's how I got my first 1,000 subscribers. I got my first 1,000 subscribers in a month because of that video. It was insane. But, yeah. Raiders suck, yep. Breaking news equals source NFL Network. Aaron Rodgers has decided to retire. Come on. Come on, buddy. Time out. Aaron Rodgers. Let me go to Rodgers. Likes. They're just anti-vax likes. That's it. His last like was March 10th. The COVID, by Dr. Eli David, COVID vaccine is so safe and effective that you have to be threatened to take it. COVID is so deadly that you have to be tested to know you have it. That's actually pretty funny. It's actually a good joke. Well done. Whoa, he's crap. So, like, I get it, but, like, it doesn't change the fact that Josh McDaniels is still a really, really difficult guy to work with and has a connection with Tom Brady that you don't want. That defense is atrocious, and they still don't have an offensive line. Like, they have more holes and are farther away from a Super Bowl than the New York Jets are. And you have to play Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes twice a year. Where in New York, you have to play Josh Allen twice a year. And that's it. That's it. You play Josh Allen twice. There are more enticing things to come here. Again, but that's if he's ring chasing. If he's just saying, like, screw it, I want to go to Vegas, not pay taxes, and look, go ahead. It's why, like, it's why Carr went to the Saints, right? Like, Carr on the Saints doesn't mean that the Saints win the NFC South, in my opinion. But there we go. Go to his video likes. It is a good joke. The Mims hype didn't last for you, Tigo. No, I like Mims. He was put in so many really raw, like, situations where, like, it was a lose-lose. He just got screwed over. And I still believe Mims can turn into something, but we need a good wide receivers coach, and we didn't have one. And now we have a new guy, and I hope that he can do his job better, because you can't teach that size and that athleticism and all of that stuff. The guy's still insane. Give me a second. I just got a tweet. Okay, never mind. It's a guy who doesn't understand the cap. Oh, I thought it was something important. Tigo, Baylor wide receivers always suck. I don't like the insert player position from insert school sucks. Okay? Maybe he does better. I like Denzel Mims. I feel like the O-line has to be the big thing for him at his age. Oh, 100%. 100%. Mims is a good player. LaFleur didn't know how to use Mims or how to teach Mims how to catch with his hands. And, like, when you put him in a situation and you say, you know what, you get 3 plays a game, you build up all of this pressure. It's like, oh, man. I don't know if I can survive Monday if this drags. Me neither. No 39-year-old wants to learn an 8-inch NFL playbook. He's coming here to run the same system. 100%. If he doesn't come to the New York Jets, the OC signing of Hackett may go down as the 3rd worst coach signing of the Jets behind Gase and Kotite, tied for the worst head coach signing in the universe of all created. I disagree here. I wanted Nathaniel Hackett irrelevant of whether or not we went out and signed a veteran quarterback. I was cool if they were said, we're running it back with Zach and we bring on Nathaniel Hackett. I was cool with, we're going to go sign Derek Carr, we bringing on Nathaniel Hackett. I was cool with, we're trading for Aaron Rodgers, we're bringing on Nathaniel Hackett. I think Nathaniel Hackett is being misjudged by his time in Denver. We have to remember that the moment that the Denver front office traded the sun, the moon, and the stars for Russell Wilson, the balance of power shifted into Russell Wilson's favor. And Russell Wilson started dictating things and being like a cancer in that locker room. His guys had an office in the building, his trainers, his staff, and all of that stuff. And what happened is Hackett started to lose the locker room because he couldn't get Russell Wilson under control. But if you look at Nathaniel Hackett as an offensive coordinator and his history as an offensive coordinator, it's phenomenal. If we look at the years that he was in Green Bay and the red zone play calling, and if we also look at the red zone efficiency and the run game, which is what Nathaniel Hackett was in charge of when he was there in Green Bay, both really, really good aspects of what happened there. Glenn Jones, thank you so much for subscribing. And then if we look at his time with Jacksonville, he was able to create a top 5 rushing attack with relatively mediocre wide receiver weapons and had Blake Bortles looking like an MVP caliber quarterback. They went to an AFC championship game with Blake Bortles. Let that sink in, okay? So when we take all of it into consideration, if we look at the Jacksonville teams when he was the offensive coordinator calling plays, let's eliminate the Green Bay because Matt LaFleur calls plays in Green Bay, right? Let's look at the Jacksonville years. That Jaguars team almost looks like the Jets team. What do we have that they have? We have a really good defensive line. They had a really, really good defensive line. They were called the Sack Exchange. Not the Sack Exchange, I'm sorry. They were called Sacksonville. They had Jalen Ramsey, considered the best corner in football, on his rookie deal. Well, we've got Sauce Gardner, who is the best corner in football, on a rookie deal. And unlike in Jacksonville, we've got a top 10 corner on the other side of him. Okay? We've got a top 5 defense. You add that they had Leonard Fournette on a rookie deal doing a lot of great things. We've also got Breece Hall on a rookie deal, and he can do a lot of good things. I think that those teams match up really, really well, and I like the Hackett signing irrelevant of whether or not we get anything in the sense of, like, if we get Rodgers, we don't get Rodgers. I like the Hackett signing. Wilson is a crap show. I'm referring to Russell Wilson. Absolutely. The Broncos put themselves in a position where they trade the sun, the moon, and the stars for Russell Wilson. They give him a massive deal. And then with the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett, which obviously happened before that, you shift the balance of power. So then you only had one option at head coach, Sean Payton. Sean Payton was the only guy who was going to be able to get in there, look at Russell Wilson in the face and say, who are you? I'm Sean Payton. Wild Track Weekender, thank you for subscribing. I'm Sean freaking Payton. You're nothing. I'll go play a guy from the stands before I play you if you don't buckle up and get in. I'm just saying. Why are people trying to do this? Like, now I got to put you in timeout, dude. I have 3 months. Let me show you guys, okay? You're not going to get me. Chat, this is you. This is why I look to the left. This is my main station where I can see everything, right? Boom, boom. And then there's Twitter. That's my son. I tweeted him the other day. You guys aren't going to get me. No, I'm way too high. No, I'm there. Nope. There we go. Now I'm in the middle. Come on, guys. It's not going to work. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That Jaguars team was awesome. They were great. Look on the bright side. The clocks go ahead an hour tonight, so that's one less hour of Aaron to make us wait. Oh, do they? Oh, damn. Yep. Why would he wait till the 15th? You would handcuff the team that you're about to play for. Wouldn't you want your team to be in the best position possible? You need to sign by Monday so that your team can start working. Russ had slightly more touchdown passes than bathrooms in his house. That's hilarious. Oh, crap. Thielen will also join Rodgers here. I hope so, man. I'm a huge Adam Thielen fan. I love that guy. He is my favorite non-Jets player, just period. I won 3 years of fantasy back to back to back because of Adam Thielen performances in the playoffs. I love that guy. I would buy an Adam Thielen jersey immediately. I would get it in black. I love that guy. I think AR decides Monday right before the legal tampering. I think if he decides Monday, it'll be Monday morning so that he can be the headline on every single talk show. Yeah, why does he have to wait till the 15th? Exactly. That Jets helmet is the best. I sent something on Twitter. He might have to wait till the 15th to get traded. Let me see. So I think I see what you sent. This is not true. So if you look underneath here, so here's the thing. It's not necessarily true because the cap hit, yes, the cap hit would be lower if we waited till the 17th to do it, blah, 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 blah. Totally get it. Totally see what you're saying. But the reality is, let me see if I can show you guys. Okay. Nope. Okay, you guys can see it, right? Someone tell me in the chat. Can you see it? Can you see my Twitter? I'm going to wait till the chat tells me because I can't see me. Okay, cool. Thank you, Vervain. So amazing how the Jets media loves to string us along. It's a done deal, folks. They're waiting until March 17th to make it official. Rodgers has a clause in his contract that says his 2023 option bonus of $58.3 million cannot be exercised until March 17th. If the trade is done prior, the Jets have to clear at least $60 million in cap space to account for Rodgers' entire 2023 pay until they can exercise the option bonus and prorate it for cap purposes on the 17th. Obviously, having to clear that much space, even only for 5 or 6 days, would totally screw up free agency, which begins Monday, March 13th at noon. Once they exercise the option, 58.3 gets prorated over 4 years, which is 14.65. That plus his 2023 salary of 1.15 gets you to the cap of 15.8. But again, not until the 17th. If the Jets go nuts this weekend announcing a bunch of cuts and more restructure/extensions, they are doing that to make the trade official earlier. Otherwise, it's happening on the 17th. So, there is some truth in this. I'm going to come back to this screen. I'm going to put Twitter back on this. There is some truth here. It is correct that the option does need to be put in from the 17th to week 1. That's true. But his cap hit isn't $60 million. That's not true. The cap hit for him right now, I think, is $40 million. And that's according to Over the Cap. And I'm going to trust what Over the Cap says. Aaron Rodgers' cap hit is $31 million, actually, this year. Not 60. His salary is 60. And so what they're going to do, and so this is where they're a little bit confused. If he's traded before, he's still just a $15 million cap hit. The New York Jets would exercise that option, but after the 17th, to lower his cap hit afterwards. You know what I mean? So that's what that happened. Thank you for sending me that treat, Riley Duda. Appreciate you. And yeah, cool. We're going to have to deal with two next year, kill me now. I don't think so. I think he plays 2 years. Not in the AFC. They're not better than the Chiefs. They're not better than the Bengals. They're not better than the Bills. If the Jets get if the Jets get a quarterback that's middle 15, if they get a middle 15 quarterback, they're not better than the Jets. I'd put the Chargers there. I don't think they're better than the Chargers. Don't get me wrong. The Jags are a very, very, very exciting team. But I don't think they're that good. They're a playoff team for sure, and they win the AFC South. for sure. But they're not better than those teams, in my opinion. They got a lot of upside, though. I like me some Doug Peterson. Yeah, isn't his contract mostly signing bonus or something? I'm not a Jets fan, so I ain't been super keeping up with Rodgers. That's cool. Thanks for the follow, Zach Milson. Appreciate you on Twitter. Yeah, most of his thing is signing bonus. He has a $60 million signing bonus. You know, kind of a thing. He's due $60 million this year, even though he's only a $30 million cap hit. The shenaniganery that Green Bay pulled is insane. Jets cleared up $15.2 million. I think the current cap hit for the Jets is just under 16. Yes, if they were to get him, his cap hit would be $15.8 million. No, it would be $17 million until the 17th, where it would be 15.8. Congrats on 2K. Thank you very much, NYY. Guys, it's so crazy, right? We hit 2K a little bit ago. We're already at 2,036 subscribers. We're almost halfway to 2,100. That's insane. You guys are the best. I love you guys. We just added a top 10 wide receiver, so I think we're going to be good. I agree. Look, I'm not trying to take anything away from you guys. I think you guys are a really, really up-and-coming team. But don't forget, Calvin really hasn't played football in a year, so it's going to take him some time to develop. And you guys still have a ton of holes on that roster. You know, you still got to get some players on defense and help fix your defense. You still, I think, got to get Etienne a running mate. I think he's a really good running back, but I think he needs a partner. I never understood why you traded James Robinson. And while I like Calvin Ridley and I like what's his name? You guys overpaid him. You guys gave him $20 million. Kirk, right? Right? It's Kirk. I don't think either one of those guys are a top 10 wide receiver. So I don't think Calvin Ridley is that high up on my board like that. So, yeah, Kirk, cool. But that doesn't mean that you guys are a bad team. I think you got a lot of really, really interesting weapons. I think you guys finally need to get him a tight end. And, yeah, the draft and free agency will change a lot in the AFC. I think so, too. I really do. I think a lot of players are going to come to the AFC because a lot of teams are going to want to stack their rosters. We're not going to. I hope not. Everybody here in Minnesota wants Rodgers out of Green Bay. They can't wait until it's official. It's going to be good because then the Minnesota Vikings become really, really good. Oh, I forgot they have Evan Ingram. You're right. They do have Evan Ingram. They franchise tagged Evan Ingram to keep him around. I totally forgot about that. You're right. My bad. They got Evan Ingram. Ingram is a dog. You guys are right. And again, they do have Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence isn't at a point where he's carrying franchises yet. He's really, really good, but he still needs to be surrounded by a lot of that, and they have it, talent. Now, if they can start fixing that defensive side of the ball, they can be competitive. They can. But the AFC is a doghouse too. Don't get it twisted. The AFC is a really, really tough place to win. So they're definitely a playoff team, but I think they're a first-round exit. That's what I was saying. What was I saying here? No, yeah, I think they can be the best team. But sneakily, though, Minnesota, they best not be sleeping on the Lions, because the Lions are sneaky, man. Yeah. There's two holdups. Rodgers' decision is money for draft picks. Yep, 100%. The Jaguars are dogs. They're doing something to Duval. They absolutely are. People forget that Rodgers sat his first 3 seasons, so there are only 15 seasons of wear and tear on that body. Not bad compared to 21 for Brady, 19 for Breeze, and 17 for Peyton Manning. Absolutely. And if we look at the last 2 examples of quarterbacks towards the end of their careers that went to a different team, both of those quarterbacks won Super Bowls with those new teams. I'm just saying. What's wrong with Ingram? Nothing. I just forgot that he was on the roster. That was it. The Browns might be sneaky good. We'll see. They might be. They might be. I'm going to miss Rodgers. It will be fun watching him on a talented roster like the Jets, though, for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, come be a Jets fan for like a year or two. I was a Rams fan the Stafford year just because I was so high on that trade. I was like, this is such a good trade for the Rams. They just won them the Super Bowl, and I got ridiculed for it. And I was so high. I was a Rams fan for a year. I think I was the only Rams fan because they don't have fans really, right? Minnesota has a horrible defense. Yeah, but here's the thing. That division is getting weaker, right? And as long as you have the best wide receiver in football, you're always going to be competitive. And that's what Justin Jefferson is. Don't get it twisted. This free Asian class, love that autocorrect, knows what teams will have primetime games. They all want to be a part of it, and the Jets will have plenty of primetime games, 100%. NFC sucks so bad that it is making it fun. The AFC is all Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs. And the Jets, put the Jets in there when we get A-Rod. Put them in there. I don't know if it was a fleecing. I think the Panthers actually kind of fleeced the Bears. I had a tweet about it. For them not to get the third first surprises me, especially when San Francisco came up to 3 and gave up 3 firsts. I think the Panthers won that trade. I agree with 100 miles per hour. Jax will win the division this year easily. Oh, so easy. Easy. The Titans are going into a rebuild. The Jags are the best team in the division. The Houston Texans are the Texans. And then who's the other team in the division? Why am I forgetting them? Who's the fourth team in that division? Oh my God. The Colts. There they are. And the Colts are ass. Pardon my French. So, there you go. No. Because Russell wasn't past 40. Russell's not an aging quarterback. Incorrect. Don't count him, Vervain. Jags fans, I'm sorry, but you get smoked in the games. If we have competent QB, we brought out the Strevs on y'all. He's not wrong. 757 Prodigy. As a Packers fan, I like how everyone is just writing us off if Rodgers leaves. We still have a lot of talent on offense and defense, and no one knows how Love is going to play. What if he's actually good? You're right. You're absolutely right. But, okay. Let me ask you a question, 757. And it's not that I'm writing you off. I just think that when Rodgers leaves, Minnesota becomes the best team in that division. Now, the defense still needs work, right? You guys need a little bit of more cohesion there, and I think you can fix that. You're going to have an extra second-round pick this year after we get Rodgers. But hear me out. If, let's say Jordan Love does come and play. Oh, I got a picture. Never mind, damn. Do you think Jordan Love right now is better or will be better than what Aaron was last year? That's the point. That's the question. It's not a matter of, yeah, Christian Watson, great. That other wide receiver that you guys drafted, I forgot his name. He's really good too. You got the other Aaron, probably the more important Aaron in Aaron Jones there. He's still fantastic. The offensive line is coming together. If you guys can get a center, you guys can fix that. You've got some pieces on the defense. You got some pieces on that defense that are really, really, really good. I forget your guys' cornerback's name, but he's fantastic. You guys just re-signed him, Jair Alexander. You hope that Quay Walker plays more like the back half of the year than the first half of the year, which I think is going to happen. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that you guys have a bad team. I think you need Eric Stokes to step up a little bit. But again, you have Eric Stokes, Darnell Savage. You guys got some pieces. But the real question that needs to... Romeo Dubs, that's his name. Got it. The real question is if Jordan Love does come in and play, right, which is the expectation of what's going to happen, is he better than Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so. And if that's the case, that's why I think your team takes a step back. And I'm not writing you guys off. If he's good, great. Is he still better than Aaron Rodgers? Probably not. And that's my point. Watson needs to play much better and need more receivers. 100%. Dude, I'm so down. I do own a Jets jersey. It's an Eric Decker 27. I loved Eric Decker. Loved him. He was my favorite Jet on those teams. I loved him so much, man. That's so cool. Oh. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know if they can pay him the cap, but this would be a really interesting trade. Jordan Love might be good. I think so. He could be. Law of average demands the Packers not have a third consecutive star QB. Imagine if they just run it back and they just get another Hall of Fame quarterback. I hate it. Packers D is talented, but Joe Barry is sadly the D coordinator. Look, I didn't want to be the one to say it, right? But yeah, I think you guys have a lot of really interesting pieces and on that defense. And I think you guys can get better like on that defense too, especially like a second year for some of these rookies. I think Quay Walker, I think, is going to take a really big step. I really liked that Quay Walker pick. I know a lot of people were looking at it kind of side-eyed, but from what I remember seeing from Packers fans, they really liked the Quay Walker pick. I really liked the Quay Walker pick. And so I think if you guys pick at 16 this year, right? No, 15, you're right after the Patriots. So you guys pick at 15. So like you get a tight end, if you get a Dalton Kincaid or I think you guys should get Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame. I think he would be such a big help for the running game and for Jordan Love. Like you guys have the pieces there. And as long as you have Matt LaFleur, he's a great play caller and a play designer, and hopefully he can learn from his mistakes and get better in the red zone. There's a lot of really good and exciting upside things. It's just a matter of all of your guys taking the next step. That's what it is. That's the way that I look at it. That if Zach played to the level of his rookie year, we would have been in the wild card last year. 100%. I agree. Totally. There's not a lie in here. 757. No, he won't be better, but I do think our offense as a whole will operate more smoothly with emphasis on the run. If we add an edge rusher, our defense will improve as well. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Add some pieces on the defense. Add a Michael Mayer to help out with the run game. And I think Matt LaFleur needs to be better at calling running plays. I think he's a little bit too pass happy. But yeah. I think they have a good team. What moves do you think we make following trading for Rodgers? I think the moves that you're going to see is Randall Cobb, Ben Jones. If Corey Davis is a part of the trade or cut, expect Adam Thielen or OBJ. Expect maybe one of the San Francisco 49ers safeties, but that's only if we cut Jordan Whitehead. Expect a restructure of a couple of our players. Expect a Carl Lawson and a CJ Mosley extension. A Quinnen Williams extension. And a trade back in the first round. There you go. Walker is a stud. Bo just lacked composure, obviously. I agree. Walker is a stud. I'm telling you, the way Walker was playing on the back half of that season was insane. And if he comes back playing like that, I think he'll do a great job for that team. Tigo, is true the Jets are highly interested in Jamal Williams? I'm assuming you're asking, is it true that the Jets are highly interested in Jamal Williams? I hope so. I really do. I love me some Jamal Williams. Love me. some Jamal Williams. And if he came to the Jets and you're telling me that when Breece Hall gets healthy, we can have a 1-2-3 of Breece, Williams, and Carter, sign me up. Sign me up every day of the week. And he's familiar with Rodgers. So, like, you're telling me what we're doing here is we're adding a veteran to the wide receiver room that can come in and give all of the secrets of how to handle Aaron Rodgers to all of these young guys. And then you can add Jamal Williams, who, yes, Johnny Boy is hilarious. I love that guy. He's a nerd, and I'm a nerd, and I love it. Come in and teach all of these young rookie running backs how to deal with Aaron Rodgers. Sign me up. And if Corey Linsley gets cut, now you're telling me that we can go get Corey Linsley, and now we're adding an offensive lineman who can get in that offensive lineman room and tell all of the guys how to handle Aaron Rodgers. I would love it. But yeah. What position do you want to draft at 13? I don't want to draft at 13. Is that an answer that you're satisfied with? Can I say that? I would prefer us trade out of 13 entirely. If it was up to me, I would trade out of the first round entirely. But if it's not an answer, Johnny Boy, like you need an answer. For me, there's only one option at 13, and that's Peter Skoronski. And since he won't be there, I don't know. Cut Jordan Whitehead, draft Brian Branch, and then cut Jordan Whitehead, and then play Chuck Clark at free safety and Brian Branch at strong safety? Yeah, probably. That would be my move. Trade back. If trade back is acceptable, that's the option. That's the answer. Trade back. That's the one I want. Jesus Christ, there's 150 of you guys still in here, and I don't understand how these people keep up with the chat. You guys are insane. Walker punched a ref. Yeah, he did. Oh, idiot. He absolutely earned it. He was the number 2, in my opinion. I had him as number 1 on my board. His upside outshined everybody, but he was the boomer bust prospect. And I'm a really big upside guy. That's like I'm a really, really big upside kind of guy. And if you have elite upside, I believe in our coaches, and so I want to take the risk on the upside guy. Now, there's a reason I'm not a general manager, right? Is for that reason. Because you should take the high floor guy over the high ceiling guy, depending on where you are in the draft. And at number 2, you should probably take the high floor guy. But yeah. I really hope we keep Lawson. The second year back from an injury is usually when they hit their stride. Red John, here's the thing. It is a lose-lose-lose situation with Carl Lawson, right? If we keep Carl Lawson and we don't do anything about his contract, it's a win for us because Carl Lawson is going to explode and it's going to be awesome. But he's a $15 million cap hit, right? 15? Yeah, he's a $15 million cap hit, and we're in a position where we kind of need that money, and we have other guys on the defensive line, specifically in the edge room, who can come up and play. So, there's that. Then you get into what happens if we cut Carl Lawson? Well, just like you said, the second year back from an injury is usually when you hit your stride. He's going to go to whatever team he's going to go to, and he's going to explode. The only win would be if we extended Carl Lawson to like a 3-year deal so that we could lower his number this year. I'd be cool with that. That's what I hope happens. If we can lower Carl Lawson to $10 million for the next 3 years, sign me up. I would love to do that. Aaron won a Super Bowl in New York. He'll never have to pay for ayahuasca from a dealer ever again. Never. Yes, trade out of the first round. Thank you. It's Lynx GG. Lynx G just wanted to show some love to the stream. Would love to see y'all land Rodgers and see how the rest of the league reacts to it. Thank you, Lynx. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. I gotta hop on COD so we can play COD again. I haven't played in a while. Any position you think the Jets should double draft besides like wide receiver? Any 4th to 7th round guys you want to get on the practice squad? I guess I'm saying, yes. Give me 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Okay, brace your eyes. It's about to get really, really bright, guys. Okay? Need y'all to brace. Ready for like some superception? I'm going to go to the PFF website, so get ready. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at this is the home screen. Boom, all this craziness. Boom. I warned you guys, okay? Let's go slim, big board. Nah, let's go medium. Yeah, medium. So for me, guys that I would like to see in the later parts of the draft, if they're available for us to draft, let's just go through the list. Let's talk about the guys that I'm a fan of. Mazzie Smith. I love me some Mazzie Smith. This guy, the Adetomiwi Adebayor, he's great. I think he's going to skyrocket up boards even more. He's at 40. I think he keeps going. Tank Dell is a really interesting guy. Just don't know if he fits with the Jets. Luke Whippler, make him a Jet immediately. Drew Sanders is falling down boards. He would be an awesome addition to the Jets. Nick Herbig would be a really cool addition just because Trey Herbig. I love him. Zach Charbonnet. If he keeps up climbing up boards, this is a problem, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like if we don't land like a veteran running back or something like that and we go rookie running back, Zach Charbonnet is a guy that we might look at. Jamie Robinson is a great addition. I love him. Same with Isaiah Foskey. I like his motor. Siaki Ika being this far down boards is an absolute travesty. Same thing with Trenton Simpson and Keanu Benton. John Michael Schmitz is going to go in the first round. So is Darnell Wright. Darnell Washington is going to follow the footsteps of George Fant. I think he's going to play tackle in the league in the next 3 years. A lot of people are really high on Jordan Battle and Kelly Ringo. I'm not. Darius Rush, I love this kid. Love this kid. I know we don't need a corner, but I love this kid. Cody Mock being this low is a travesty. I love Cody Mock. Christopher Smith, I'd be cool with Christopher Smith too. DeMarvion Overshone, another guy I'd be really, really cool with. Do a couple more pages of these. Blake Freeland's a good guy. Ivan Pace Jr., a lot of people are a fan of. I really hope we take J.L. Skinner here and convert him to linebacker. I think he can play that really, really well at the next level. Ronnie Hickman, if we want to take a center prospect. I'm sorry, a safety. I was thinking about a different guy. Keandre Coburn can play in the defensive interior like a practice squad guy. That'd be an interesting. Zach Pickens, interior defensive, another one of those guys. Not this Byron Jones, but the Tennessee Byron Jones. I don't know if he passed up. If we passed him up. Andrew Voorhees. Take him and keep him on the roster for a year. He tore his ACL at the combine, which sucks for him, but he is a starting guard. This right here is your Laken Tomlinson replacement. When you bump Elijah Vera-Tucker back to left guard, Andrew Voorhees is going to take Elijah Vera-Tucker's job on the right side. Draft this kid. I would not be surprised if the New York Jets pulled the trigger on this guy in the 4th round. Watch, you heard it here first. This kid, this is a travesty, but storing him on your roster for a year while he recovers is a great idea. Noah Sewell, another guy. Jake Haener, if you want to go in that situation. I don't think we should draft a quarterback at all, but there's that. I love me some Riley Moss as a prospect as well, and he's the unicorn, the white cornerback. Jarrett Patterson, I'm not a Hutch guy, and then I'm going to end it right here. This is what I was trying to find. Andrei Ayoshivas. This guy is insanely fast. Stashing him on the practice squad. I don't think he gets picked up. He's a guy. And then one of the Florida safeties. And then that's it. There we go. Hope that answers your question, your boy Mike. Just subbed. Would you like to collab this season when we play each other? Yeah, man. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. I love it. My DMs are open. My Twitter is in the description. Deadass. You don't even have to follow me. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter. That's the best way to get in contact with me. My DMs are open. I'll see it. When we play each other, we'll get up. We'll do this stuff out. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Links. Have a good one. I forgot about Xavier Hutchinson. I'm not the biggest Xavier Hutchinson guy. Adebayo might be the biggest freak in the draft. I don't know if you can say that with Nolan Smith existing and running a freaking wide receiver 40 at an edge. That's insane. I don't think there is a deal between the Jets and the Packers. I agree. I don't think there is one. Jets win a couple games in September, and suddenly I don't know any draft prospects for the first time. Love it. I think both parties are waiting on Aaron. That's correct. How big would you say the gap is between JMS and Whippler? Oh, it's pretty big. Like, here's the thing. JMS is a day one starter, solid 15, like in the sense of ranking in the NFL. He is day one, the 15th best center in the NFL. And that's great because there's only 32 jobs. He is 16, 15, fantastic. Whippler comes in, he's maybe 20, maybe 25. But over time, he'll get better. And Whippler is a Jets fan. So bring the kid home. Like, who's that 6'8", 385-pound left tackle in the draft this year? He looks like a fun 6th or 7th round pick. What? Is there a tackle that's that big? I think Darnell Wright is that big, but I think they're going much higher. Or are you talking about DeJuan Jones? He's going in the 2nd round. Tackle. I think you're talking about DeJuan Jones. Yeah, DeJuan Jones. You're talking DeJuan Jones. He's going in the 2nd round. He might go in the 1st. He might go in the 1st, dude. He's not going that late. We like drafting guys with last names of other guys on our team. We'll probably draft a Rodgers and a Hall. I love it. You guys really think Rodgers landing with the Jets? I think so, Turbo. I really do. Hey, you make a good point, but, like, what's a better option? Green Bay doesn't necessarily want to keep him, and we're the only team asking. And we've got a really good roster. And he's good enough to deal with the New York media. I ain't worried about that. When do we, the Jets, finally walk away from the Rodgers and start chasing Lamar? Monday? I don't think we're going to chase Lamar. I think you pivot Monday. If we don't have an announcement tomorrow by midnight or like Monday by noon, you pivot. Because the legal tampering period starts Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern, and we have to have a quarterback Monday at 4 o'clock. Is Blake Freeland that big? I don't think Blake Freeland is that big. Yeah, Blake Freeland is 6'8", but he's 300 pounds. If anything, he's a bit light. It's DeJuan Jones, yep. Darnell Wright is a jag if Osiris Torrance doesn't fall to us. You want Osiris Torrance in the 1st round? That's a bit of a reach. Elijah Moore, future Colt. Why would we trade him? To the Colts of any places? Like, what do you guys have that we want? Nolan Smith is a freak, but Adebayor is 44 pounds heavier and only ran a 1/10 of a second slower. Really? Jesus Christ. These guys are insane. Okay, nice. What was Jones's college team again? Though that's why I was wondering about if that was a gamble or not. Jones. Oh, Ohio State. I've only gotten into draft stuff the last couple of years. Don't know much about college. You don't need to know anything about college, dude. Like, for real. Like, you don't need to watch a single NFL college football game. I can't stand college sports. Let me say that first of all. Part of that is because the UCF's not super great. And I go to UCF, and I want them to be better. Now, I think they're going to the Big 10, or is it the Big 12? They're going to one of the big somethings in a couple of years. When that happens, the program will be bigger and it'll be better. We'll be able to get better things and blah, 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 blah. But if you know football and you understand the... Thomas, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. If you understand football at a fundamental level, like the little things that make players good and bad and things like that, like the hand placement, the feet placement, technique, the hips, and all that stuff, then you don't have to watch you just watch the tape. And if you can get a hold of the tape, easy breezy. And I have a way to get a hold of the tape so I can watch all of these guys and really dig into their tape. So, yeah. How do you feel about Braxton Berrios? I'm sad to see him go, but I understand why it had to happen. At his cap number, it did not make sense to keep him. At his cap number, it did not make sense to keep him. And if he was unwilling to lower his cap number to stay on the Jets, you had to cut him to save the money. Yep. Don't say that out loud in Nebraska or Alabama. Look, I'm just not. I look at it, it's like it's children abuse, man. Now with the NIL deals, it's a little bit less children abuse. But I used to look at that stuff and I was like, there are hundreds of schools, specifically D1 schools, there are hundreds of them making millions of dollars off of these kids who they know well and good in their hearts are never going to make it to the NFL. And they are ruining their bodies. None of them are focusing on their degrees for them to make millions of dollars. And they never make any money. So I have to get that out of my head. But I've started enjoying college football a little bit more. Not occurring to my friends' law. They school me on college shiz. Thanks for boosting my emo. Yeah, dude, I got you. What? I love college football. I watch every game I can find on TV. Yeah, there you go. College football isn't fun because the level of talent is too uneven. That too. Oh, guys, per the Buffalo Jet fan, we finally have a true deadline for the Aaron Rodgers and Jets decision. According to this tinfoil hat website, NASA says that there is an asteroid the size of a football field that could hit the Earth on Valentine's Day in 2046. So he has to decide if he wants to be a Jet by then or the world ends. There's the deadline. Jets should take a chance on Max Duggan or Tanner Mackey. They're competent QBs that could learn from Aaron Rodgers other than like Lawson. Nah, I'm good. Tanner Mackey is an interesting guy, but I'm not wasting a draft pick in this year's class on a quarterback. We have a guy on the roster who has an insanely high upside, and you just saw that the outside noise got to him. Because in the preseason, he was making the throws. At the end of last season, he was making the throws. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Rodgers can be there, and Zach can develop. If not, if Zach doesn't develop, you just move on, and that's fine. But drafting a guy to learn behind Rodgers, nah, I'm good. I'm cool with it. I don't want to waste another guy's rookie contract sitting behind a quarterback. Quarterbacks don't get that nowadays. You don't get that opportunity. It doesn't make sense. You're either the guy or you're not the guy. And Tanner Mackey and Max Duggan, for me, aren't the guys. Thank you, Johnny boy. I don't know what point I was making, but I appreciate it. Coming from Midwest, college ball popular AF. I only ever watch Wisconsin and the Wolverines. I wish Illinois was good at stuff other than like wrestling. Love it. Does G12 want to be Kobe, Steph, Barry, and LeBron, championship chaser? Legendary players don't go to D-League teams because of media hype. You can't fool great thinkers. I don't know what this is in reference to. By G12, do you mean A12? Because if you're talking about AR12, yes, absolutely. You go to the team that gives you the best opportunity to win a championship. Legacy matters more than anything. No one cares if you spend your entire career. No one cares if you spend your entire career with the same team. Because at the end of the day, your legacy is going to be how many rings you got. How many chips do you have? No one is going to care about where you at. Whenever they talk about Peyton Manning, no one's going to care that he went to Denver to win the other ring because he couldn't get it in Indy. He got one in Indy. He got one in Denver. He's got 2 rings. That's all that matters. And that's what matters. And here's the thing, Packers 2010, like, why would he stay on your team? He wants to chase a ring. He's going to go to a team that's going to give him the best opportunity to do so. Our team beat your team last year with Zach Wilson under center. Like, we were being polite here. Don't get me started because I can shit all over the Packers too. Like, we're being polite in here. I'm having a good time. Harrison Hagen, the other, I forget his name, 757, was it? I don't remember. 757, they're all good dudes. Don't come in here with all that stuff, dude. You should do a collab with Basarki Productions. If you can get me his name and I can reach out to him, and if he's willing to do it, I'll do it. A-Rod interview just posted on YouTube by I Am Athlete. Let me go see if I can find this thing. I Am Athlete. Oh, crap. You guys want to watch this? Let's watch this. 4 minutes. Let's watch this. Let me see if you guys can see this. Let me, Twitter. Yeah. Cool. You guys can.
Quick recap of today's event. How you feel about it?
I feel great about it. I love my team. You know, they paid.
Hey. What color's that? What color is that? Is that a secret subliminal message? Anyone see that? Huh? That looks like Gotham Green to me.
They paid for the number 1 pick. I feel like I gave them that. I didn't throw any picks today.
You didn't throw any picks?
No picks.
But you didn't win a championship, though.
It's okay. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. That doesn't mean it's failure.
Okay. So you feel good about it?
I feel great about my guys.
Okay.
My guys balled out to the best of their abilities.
Yep.
We recruited an old head.
Real
old head.
T.O.
And T.O. contributed.
This is a 20-minute
But
game.
this wasn't good enough.
Inside of 2 minutes.
Just a couple of questions and I'll let you go. Bro, I love the journey that you're on, a spiritual journey, and I'm being honest, right? And have so much respect for you. Why is this so important to you for just like this, discovering who you are, peeling back those layers? You know, you're doing some interesting things in the off season. I want to know the why behind it.
You know, I think it starts with self-love, and I think when you can figure out how to give yourself that unconditional love, it allows you to both receive it and then give that out in the world. And I just really, was introspective years ago about how I want to show up in the world, and I did a number of different things. But plant medicine has allowed me to open up some of those dimensions in myself that make me feel more present, more love for myself.
Okay, no, wait, I can't listen to this. My stream is going to get muted. Damn, I wanted to watch that. I'm going to watch that off stream, but I can't keep listening to that because my stream will get shut down. They'll hit me with the band hammer hard. That music in the background, I'll be so screwed. Can't do it. All right, let's catch up. Did he get a haircut? Yep. Brandon Marshall was a Jet, absolutely. Brandon Marshall was a journeyman. He was. Do you think we know his decision by this time tomorrow? I hope so. Here's the thing, right? We know by this time tomorrow what the Jets are going to do. Because by this time tomorrow, if he's not a New York Jet, we know we've pivoted. Because we're not going to sit here and wait for him. Actually, yeah, do this. Somebody do this. I'll tell you exactly what minute we were at. We were at 1:27. Somebody go do that. Make it happen. Make it happen. That's a great point. We were at 1:47. Somebody go watch. We'll be back. Now, they were playing flag football, and it was green versus orange, and he was on the green team. Hey, Packers, 2010. I'm going to say this. I think you need to get a lot better at your trolling because you're real bad at it. He is cocky and self-indulgent. It's why he's a great quarterback. Because he's cocky and self-indulgent. So, yeah. So, to keep it civil, bye-bye. All right, you have a good night. We're going to keep having fun in this chat. Don't need any trolls up in here. Thanks for stopping by and giving the viewership. Hey, hit the like button on your way out. Have a good one. Have a good night. Feel a lot better about A-Rod after watching the interview. He's coming. You think so? What did he say? Oh, man. No, thank you. And if you want to know my reasons why, I said it in the stream already. Do you like Wentz as a plan B? Not a lot great of other... Nope. Wentz is broken as a quarterback. He needs, ironically, he needs a year off. He needs a year as a backup. Like, to be honest, that's what he needs. Aaron Rodgers has not held the Packers hostage in any of the last seasons, but every year he cuts it really close. I expect an answer around tomorrow. Same. Bro deleted his comment. No. I put him in timeout, so his comments all got deleted. He needs ayahuasca. Yep. Rodgers will make Zach a star in 2 years. I hope so. Wentz needs 2 weeks in the darkness retreat. There you go. Dude, could you imagine? 2 weeks? Oh, God. That's insane. That would be insane. Alrighty, guys. This is the last 14 minutes of the live stream. We've been going strong for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Guys, like Nightbot says, if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. If you want to leave a super chat, it skips the line and jumps right up to the top. Guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps the channel. We hit 22,000 subscribers today. We're almost at 2,050 subscribers. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. We've got 138 likes in here. I can't say and appreciate you guys more than anything like that. But we're going to be going strong for another 13 minutes. And then I'm going to end the stream so that I can go get some rest and get ready for the Aaron announcement tomorrow because I got to sleep too. In my opinion, I think the Jets want him. Goots worded dodgingly they want to trade, and Aaron seems seen it with Favre and would humbly leave. Comes down to it. Yeah. No thank you, but I like the vid, buddy. Thank you. Brandon Marshall interviewed Rodgers, and he said that it won't be long. There's a time limit. Of course. I wouldn't. Look, I'm not saying that I don't dislike Dalton Kincaid. I think he's fantastic. I would take Michael Mayer over Dalton Kincaid because I think Michael Mayer, do you want Kelsey or do you want Kittle? And that's the way that I look at it. And I would prefer Kittle over. I think Kelsey is a fantastic and probably the best overall tight end in the league. While Kittle is the best overall tight end in the league, while Kelsey is the best pass-catching tight end in the league. And they're two different things. And I like my tight ends to be really, really involved and good in... Why? Why does everybody got to do this? No, he isn't. I'm on Twitter. There's nothing. Why are you trying to troll? Ugh. Back to what I was saying. I like me a Dalton Kincaid, but the moment that we restructured CJ Uzama and Tyler Conklin, we've committed to them for their whole contracts. They're here for the next 2 years. That's it. So we can't afford to draft the tight end because where is he going to play? I would hear you and say, hey, you know what? He's above Jeremy Ruckert, and then we would have a crazy 1-2 for years to come. But I just don't think you can do that. You know? Good night, Nathan. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Musgrave is, yeah, see? Dalton Kincaid sounds like a character straight out of Mortal Kombat. Love it. Kelsey is always open. That's true. OMG, that interview was awesome. Rodgers is coming to the Jets, baby. Oh, my God. Do I just risk it, guys? Do I just risk it for the biscuit and just hope I don't get copyright striked? No, I'm not. Guys, I'm going to end the stream in 10 minutes. You guys got 10 minutes, and then I'm going to finish that interview. Oh, man. It doesn't matter who the QB is if you don't have O-line help. The BYU offensive tackle had a great combine. Absolutely. Blake Freeland is his name. I would love him as a developmental tackle. He is slowly starting to become my Max Mitchell. Him and Cody Mock are becoming my Max Mitchell as late. Ooh, that's a great idea. Oh, I can watch it and mute it for you guys. That's what we're going to have to do, guys. I'm going to put the subtitles on. It's going to be muted. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm sorry. There is no closed captioning, but I'll give you the gist. I have it on 1.5 times speed. He's still talking about like the self-love, self-care, and how it makes him better for himself, his family, and all those things. So Brandon Marshall just asked if he felt misunderstood by people because a lot of people don't seem to get him. This is such a good interview. Brandon Marshall did such a good job. Such thoughtful questions and Aaron is answering very well designed and like very insightful. This is making me like him as a person a lot more because of the way he's going about and having these conversations. This is a fantastic interview. Brandon Marshall. God, I knew I loved him as a Jet. I agree, Harrison. Oh, man, he's a Jet. Oh, he's so a Jet. Oh, man. Oh, Dom C in the house. What's going on? Welcome. I am burning the midlight oil. Oh, my. Guys, he's a Jet. He's a Jet. It's happening. For sure. Go watch the interview. Oh, my God. At the end there? Oh, it's happening. He's such a... Go watch it. Just go... Oh, my God. The way he answered the question, right? So Brandon Marshall goes like, so how was it meeting Woody Johnson? He was like, oh, it was nice to meet important figures in the scene. And then he goes... And then they have that little staring contest. Oh, my gosh. I think the best way he got it is saying, you know what? The way he said, hey, stay tuned. That to me, the moment he said stay tuned is the moment he was like, that's him admitting and saying, you know what? I'm going to the Jets. We're working on some other stuff on the back end of it, but I'm going to be a Jet. Stay tuned. Oh, man. It's happening tomorrow. Brandon Marshall. I got to go find a Brandon Marshall jersey. I think it's happening. This has got me excited. Oh. Jesus. Oh. I didn't get that. Hagen, what did you get then? Let me know. I'm curious. We've been having a good thing. I just want to know how many picks I have for my mock draft at this point. Hey, just don't pick. Add an extra second, Wyatt. That's the way that I would look at it. Looks like it's happening. Dom C, I like Tigo too. I even purchased Talking Jets with Tigo mugs. Yes, Harlan did. He bought my merch in the link in the description below before I did. How crazy is that? I put it up for one video, and Harlan did it immediately. I love this guy. He's great. Thank God Tigo is streaming. We all would have nothing to watch. A living hell. Where's Dom C's comments? There he is. Tigo burning the Midnight Oil. Kid love to see it. Absolutely, man. The interview stare feels the same as the stare for your first kill, lol. Fun fact. Story time with Tigo. BM said, is a Jets legend. Can he claim that 2 years? I don't know about that. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I think he can. He's like one of the only wide receivers to have 1,000-yard receiving season with the New York Jets. He's our last 1,000-yard receiving New York Jet. Finally broken by Garrett Wilson. Absolutely. I think B. Marsh would 100% be there. In 5 minutes, it will be 1 a.m. You're right. B. Marsh probably had the best season of a receiver in Jets history. Yep. Until Garrett Wilson breaks that record with Aaron Rodgers next year and goes for 5,000 yards. And then Elijah Moore's going to have 3,000. I'm kidding. I'm just getting excited. Rodgers will make his decision tomorrow or Monday. Absolutely. Okay, guys, story time with Tigo. Okay? Before we end the stream. I like this as a segment to end the stream. So I've got a lot of really, really cool stories. So we're going to start with one. And we're going to start one based off of this this comment. Where's the comment? I would beat Brandon Marshall too, TBH. Yeah, dude, I would too. The interview stare feels the same as the stare for your first kiss. All right, we're going to talk about my first kiss with my wife. But not just the first kiss with my wife. The whole situation of how we started dating. So it's hilarious, right? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint. Young Tigo was kind of a dog. And disrespectful as fuck. Okay? Hank! Oh, I don't like this. I do like it, but I gotta have Twitter open, guys. I gotta have Twitter open. I closed Twitter. I'm opening it again. I open it again. We'll know tomorrow. We'll for sure know tomorrow. Oh, I love it. Breaking, guys. You saw it here first on the Talkin' Jets with Tigo stream at midnight. I was live. Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. 100% is going to happen. Oh. Hank, no, this is great. This is a good enough this is a great interruption. This is a good interruption. I got to find that comment. Okay, so as I was saying. So, young Tigo was kind of disrespectful as fuck. And my wife, at the time when we became friends, like close friends, I actually became really, really close friends with her brother, my brother-in-law now. And her neighbor is the guy who was my best man at my wedding. Okay? So we were all really, really close. And I was kind of trying to make my moves on my friend's sister. I ain't going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I really, really liked her. I liked my wife a lot. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I married her, right? And so I start doing my moves, the not the disrespectful thing, but just being the friend that's around, the setting the example of maybe if you weren't with your guy, this is what your life would look like if you were with me, kind of a thing. It's I was disrespectful. Let's just say I was encroaching on some other man's girl. 100%. I was disrespectful AF. But don't hate the player, hate the game, right? And so my wife at the time, who's dating this other guy, breaks up with that guy. And I go, boom, I'm in. This is it. This is the moment. This is my moment. I got this. This is where and the very next day, my wife pulls me aside and goes, hey, you ain't slick. I see what you're doing. I just broke up with this dude. I need some space. And I was like, damn, she caught me. It's all good. We'll run it back in a couple of weeks. That's what she said. That's fine. We'll run it back in a couple of weeks. 4 days later, we're driving away from something, right? I think we were leaving church or whatever, and we stop at a red light. And she rolls down her window, and I roll down my window because we all used to have, like, you know, when you're driving, you roll down your window, you pretend like you don't know each other, start yelling or whatever. And I thought that's what was going to happen. And this is 4 days after telling me she didn't want to date me. She looks me in the face and goes, when are you going to grow a pair and ask me out? What? What? Excuse you? Didn't you just tell me not to ask you out? What is happening? And so I was like, oh, come on. For real? So the next day, I tricked her into saying yes. At the time, and she still does, I still do this every once in a while, my wife was really into cupcakes. So I went and I found a very, very extravagant cupcake. And I said, hey, do you want to go out with me? Here's a cupcake. So she said yes to the cupcake. And then she said yes to me because she said yes to the cupcake. Because she wanted the cupcake. Boom, right? So we started dating. Now, how do I say this? I was like head over heels for this. I knew I was going to marry her on the second date. I bought the ring. I was crazy. But I didn't want to mess things up. I didn't want to go too fast or whatever. So it was like 3 dates in. I still hadn't kissed her or anything like that. And my wife runs it back with me, and she looks me, again, we're dating at this time. She runs it back to me, and like, this is after the 4th date. She looks at me and is like, when are you going to grow a pair and kiss me? And I was just like, okay, you don't got to attack my manhood like this in back-to-back months. You just said, don't tell me, don't date me, and then ask me out. And now I'm in love with you here. Like, let me take my time. Damn, don't rush me. And yeah. So there's story time with Tigo. That is how I got my wife and did all that stuff. Let's end the stream. Let's see all these comments. It's happening, guys. Get ready. LMAO, you funny. Thank you very much, Justin Verway. Date Nate Merritt. Thank you, Matthew Smith. It ain't happening. What streaming software do I use? Jack Talks Jets. First of all, Jack Talks Jets. When I first saw your logo, I thought you had the same logo as me. I was like, damn. That sucks. I use Streamlabs. Touchdown Tigo. Women, bro, for real. Salute Jets fam. Salute Rob V. What's going on? Rodgers would take the Jets to 14 wins in the Super Bowl. From your mouth to God's ears. Justin Verway. Tell me you kept that muffin rest. No, it was a cupcake, and I bought it. I know the place still. It's like a very like gourmet, over the top. Snoopy, we just finished watching it. It's happening. He's a Jet for sure. Tomorrow, it's happening. Well, today, because it's tomorrow already. It's happening. I said Streamlabs. Oh, you probably just asked again. OMG, I'm late, Lamel. Sorry. Love y'all. You're good, dude. Love your channel. Thank you, Jack Talks Jets. I've been watching some of your stuff, too. You got some good stuff. No worries. What happened in the video? I ain't trying to watch all that. You don't need to watch all of it. Watch the last minute and a half. Brandon Marshall asks in the last minute and a half about what's going on, and boom. He talks about the Jets, and he essentially basically says, stay tuned, I'm going to be a Jet. It's awesome. I'm so excited. It's happening tomorrow. Hit the sub button, guys, if you want to. Holy crap, wrong verb. I missed it. Thanks for the fun stream. Let's go. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, bro. Have a good night. I'll tune in tomorrow for sure, guys. Live in Cali. Live in Cali, so tomorrow for me. Oh, yeah, tomorrow for you. Alrighty, guys, boys, girls, gents, gentlemen. Eric Declan, Brandon Marshall were elite. Yep. Packers fans are relieved he's finally going. Kev Chatta in the house. Man, everyone stopped by. Good stuff, Tigo. Congrats on 2K again. Thank you very much. AR-12 and Jet Black Uni will look dope 100%. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by the stream, helping me hit 2,000 subscribers. I cannot believe all of that. If one more of you could hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. We're at 2049. Can we get to 2050? 2050? That'd be so cool. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for hanging out and being a part of this stream and being a part of my Jets content creation journey. Guys, remember, I'll probably be live sometime tomorrow night if the trade happens, so you can get my reactions there. You're obviously going to get my reactions no matter what if it happens. Every Friday night, we do a Friday night hangout, 10 o'clock. Be here and hang out with me. It's a great, great time. Love it. 2053, you guys are the best. I can't imagine. This is so awesome. Thank you guys again so much for being here. Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, I don't want to end it, but I'm so tired, and I got to go catch some sleep. I have a baby that's going to wake up screaming in 6 hours. Well, technically, it's going to be 5 hours. That being said, have a good night. And last but not least, don't forget, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet.